Somehow I
Yeah,
cannot
so
hear
I
you.
guess we are live. Yeah, it's a Sunday night, a lot of cricket, a lot of action going around from Gaul to Chepauk and in England. So a lot of action going on. Also, the one going on in UAE between the rising champions Afghanistan and the Proteas. So definitely we can have a lot of interactions only if you guys interact. And also today, I mean, Ashish has joined us and he will now join us from our next videos. So I think he's having some connectivity issues at the moment. So also Ritik is there. So I think a couple more guys will be joining in some time. So till then, we can have some chit chat here. Guys, please join. Please comment. Yeah, welcome Ashish. So from now onwards, he will also be actively joining on our videos and shorts and other, uh, um, I mean, contents. So, am I audible, Ashish? Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you.
can Ashish hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Ashish, you can hear us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was having some problem with my mic. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ashish will be joining us from now onwards, and a couple other guys joining in some time. So let us have some discussions on all the matches. Also, which topic you guys prefer. Also, a couple of other series coming up, like in October, the England Pakistan series will be starting. The Women's T20 World Cup will be starting. Will Australia again win that, or will there be some other team who can win that? Can India win it for the first time? So there will be these questions. So it all depends upon how much interactions you guys show, and your interactions will be the one that will drive us to make this content hit. So I would now ask Ritik to maybe start with the India Bangladesh till the comments come up. So India Bangladesh, Ashwin going past Courtney Walsh. Your feedback.
Yeah, so first of all, hello everyone. And yes, so rightly as Saptarshi mentioned, Ashwin was a no-brainer who is going to be the man of the match. And Ashwin with his all-round performance, I mean, that wonderful century and the brilliant partnership we had with Ravindra Jadeja, with the two guys scoring almost 200 runs, and the way he bowled, I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. So, I mean, a point I noticed in this match, and I would like to highlight that. So, these were two contrasting bowling spells, if I talk, not just from Ashwin's point of view, but from overall India. So, if you see when Bangladesh was playing in the first innings, so it was the Pacers who took up 8 wickets in total, and now in the second innings, it was exactly the other way around with I think Ashwin picking up 6 and other spinners. I think Jadeja picked up 3. So in total, 9 wickets. So it was absolutely contrasting, and that's what we expect. In second innings, we all know that cracks start to develop, and the bowlers, especially the spinners, they try to bowl into that rough patch to gain some advantage. Yeah, and India were absolutely clinical, be it the batting front, be it the bowling front, and of course they were a better team. And the addition of I think some guys who we were not expecting, maybe so the likes of Bumrah and these guys. So maybe we thought that these guys could have been rested, but ultimately after that Pakistan Bangladesh series, it became imperative to include these guys. And I mean, what a brilliant performance these guys showed! Absolutely wonderful. They were absolutely clinical.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, India are a force at home, to be honest. I think this is their 17th or 18th series win on the trot. Not exactly sure regarding the number, but I think since the 2012 loss versus, uh,
England.
yeah, 2012 loss versus England when I think Andrew Strauss was the captain and, or Alistair Cook was it. Whatever. I think since that they haven't lost any series at home, and I
Yeah.
mean I think Ashwin and Jadeja have been the key candidates in this dominance. And to be honest, I have doubt once these two guys retire, can India show the same kind of dominance? Because these two guys are so good in bowling and batting. They can pick up all the 20 wickets in a test match, and then they can both score hundreds together. So these guys are so good. I mean, you just can't get a replacement for these two guys for a home test in India. And even before the 2012 series, I think India were pretty good at home. They had drawn a couple of series. I think they drew one series against South Africa when Dale Steyn where Dilson bowled one magical spell. But I think their last series loss before 2012 also was in 2004 against the Aussies when Adam Gilchrist captained the Australian side. So, if our new guest Ashish would like to add some comments on this Indian dominance, also Bangladesh's performance, how would you look at it?
Yeah, I feel that Santo from Bangladesh played really well, honestly. The grit that he showed was exceptional. It's not easy for someone to for a traveling side to score runs in India when even when other batters from the other end are throwing their wickets away. So the grit he showed was really good, uh, and uh, and yeah, and India, as expected and as they were the favorites, they really came and sealed the match. Uh, the most important thing is that Rishabh Pant came back to form. In
Yeah.
the first innings he looked good, but he couldn't like convert that into a 50 or anything. And at that moment, I was really disappointed with Pant because Yashasvi was going well. The partnership between Pant and Yashasvi was building. India has already lost early wickets, so the partnership was important. And then Rishabh got out after 39 odd runs. So I was kind of disappointed with Pant, but then in the first innings, and India was desperate for an innings like Ashwin and Jadeja to really post some respectable total on the board. Because it is not only about the runs; it's about confidence as well. When your tailenders score the runs, the opposition team goes into like a bit of underconfidence that affects their batting. It's not only the numerical value, it's the mental setback that the team gets when they are like cruising like by 6 wickets and suddenly your spinners come and start scoring runs. But then in the second innings, the way Punt played and scored his 100 was really important for his confidence, for confidence of the management in Punt, because the other wicket keepers like Jurel had also done well. So, so Punt needed it backing, and he definitely got it. And Suman Gill, like I personally don't rate. I feel Suman Gill is overrated at this stage of this career. So the kind of knock that Suman Gill played was really important for people to like believe in him and for him to live up to his own height, which Suman Gill did. Apart from that, at some point I felt that India could have like batted the entire day yesterday just to give more batting time to their batters. I felt that, but yeah, the decision was made that they would uh, declare, and so be it. And it was a correct decision, and India wrapped up the game. And again, from the bowling side, I was impressed by Akash Deep, who picked up early wickets of Bangladesh, and that was one of the things. Firstly, like I have a little bit biasness towards players who come from Bengal Ranji team and that side because from the East India, the representation of players in the Indian cricket is from the eastern side of the country. It hasn't been that great lately. So whenever a person comes and performs really well, it's kind of it gives me more happiness. Everyone is
Yeah.
plays for India, but that kind of gives me more happiness because of my personal home state thing. But he did well. Bumrah was really good, and in the second innings, most of the wickets were taken by the shared between the two legendary spinners of India. So it was pretty well game. Who was the third seamer after Bumrah and Akashdeep? I forgot
Siraj.
his
Siraj,
name.
Siraj.
So, I mean, now that India are 1-0 up in this series, do you see India giving a rest to Jasprit Bumrah in the second test, or do you see India going in with the same combo?
Where is the second test match?
I think only a couple of days. I think it's on Friday, only 4 days
It is
gap.
in Kanpur, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong. It is in
yeah,
Kanpur. Yeah.
Kanpur, Green Park. I think this was the stadium where Rachin Ravindra and Ajaz Patel drew the match in 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah,
So if
that game.
Abhishek, you can add some points on that. So should Jasprit Bumrah be retained? So as Saptarshi asked.
Or Yeah, I mean, considering that India have the series against New Zealand starting on the 16th, so should they think of
Yeah.
giving Jasprit Bumrah a break? And also, then the BGT is starting in 2 months' time from 22nd November.
Yeah, but already India's playing after 1 month, so I think yeah, Bumrah can play the next match also. It will be in rhythm for the BGT series, and playing in India fast bowling and taking wickets on those tracks which are not that much helpful for fast bowling can help pacers like not just Bumrah but Akashdeep and all to uh, take the
Yeah, so
habit of
Kanchan is
taking.
asking, should we see Kuldeep getting a chance in the next match?
No,
I
I
don't
am
see.
seeing the same team,
Same for
But
me as well.
if India
but
makes a really spinning track in Kanpur, then I think they can go off from the three pacer idea to a two pacer idea with getting Kuldeep as the third spinner.
who would you drop? That's the question.
Th-
Yeah.
then you have to either
Because all three
rest either
pitches
of
were,
Akashdeep or Bumrah
but
or
it
maybe
will be
Siraj.
unfair. But wouldn't it be unfair to Akashdeep?
But if
Yeah.
India goes for a rank turner type of idea, then they have to get the third spinner in.
I don't think they're going for the rank turner. I think at least on the first 3 days, as they have
Also, I
mentioned
think
that.
the addition of Kuldeep also reduces the batting depth, maybe to some extent.
No,
No,
that
no,
if
I guess I think
I don't think, because I don't think Kuldeep bats worse than the three pacers. I think
no,
Kuldeep
no.
has showed a good
The
Yeah.
capability with the
Okay.
bat
Test cricket,
against
like
England also.
he has like 50s and stuff in Ranji and stuff. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I
But
think
So
he did well against England also in that match where he and Judel saved India. I mean, they got some 100 runs partnership or something.
Kuldeep with the bat
I
is someone you can expect him to defend, to protect his wicket and take the odd singles and stuff. He
yeah.
certainly cannot hit the boundaries and stuff, but then he can protect his wicket and score the
Yeah,
and
I
keep the
think as a tailender, that's more than enough. I mean, you don't expect him to score 50s and 60s, but if he can at least support his partner when he's batting with some proper batter, I think that's
yeah.
more than enough for him.
Yeah. I
I
think
think
if we can
Gaurav
something
Shah
which
is,
Jack Leach does. Jack Leach does really well that
yeah,
thing.
yeah, Gaurav
Yeah.
Shah is saying Rachin
Although I
Ravindra jitayega. So he's
Yeah.
saying of that
Gaurav,
Sri Lanka New Zealand match.
we are coming to that shortly, Gaurav.
Yeah, we will be
Yeah.
coming to that shortly. We will have a talk on that match also.
Yeah.
And the other thing Gaurav is saying regarding this India Bangladesh, he is asking for a debut for Yes Dayal.
I don't think
yeah,
So
so.
that can be done. I believe maybe that India can give US Dayal a chance. They can give they can drop. I guess they can give US Dayal a chance.
I think that would have been more probable had it been a three-match series and India would have been 2-0 ahead. I think in that case that might have been possible.
In
But
that case, also, I am don't think because now the World Test Championship points and every match counts. So you don't want to at least draw a draw also in any match would cost India. So I don't
I
think in that sense they don't want to take chances. I think at least from Gambhir what I saw, because in the Sri Lanka series also he brought Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma all. So I think from Gambhir's point of view, he's playing the safe
Mhm.
game here and he's not currently ready to take any chances,
And
and
I mean
that's fine
considering
because
his first series, I mean that started with a loss and so he doesn't want to take risks also, it
and
seems.
that's fine. I think nobody starts to want to start their coaching career on a loss. So it's I think
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
hi,
fine.
hi Shubhadeep.
Utkarsh is asking topic. So yeah, Utkarsh, there's that not one specific topic. We are having a discussion regarding all the matches that are ongoing, from
Yeah.
the Chepauk India Bangladesh match to the Gaul Sri Lanka New Zealand match, and that England Australia rivalry going on in the 50 over format. Also, Afghanistan locking horns with South Africa. They've already won the series, and they're playing the third match. Definitely not a very good performance in this match, but let's see what happens. So also, if you guys want any other match discussion like the England Pakistan Test series which is coming up, or the Women's World Cup which is coming up, I mean,
Yeah.
are you guys hopeful of any other winner than Australia in the upcoming Women's World Cup? I mean, Australia always dominates these women's tournaments, but are you hoping some other winner this time around? If I ask our four panel members,
I don't
Yeah, I
know
think
how
Shubhadeep can
I
pick
think
that up
England as
first.
well.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, Shubhadeep.
England is pretty strong. I think the way, yeah, England is pretty strong. I guess the way they have performed in the last, quite a few series at home. Especially, they are one of the teams which has actually beaten Australia in a T20I series since the
Okay.
last T20 World Cup. Not in Cape Town, but
Kanchan
when
Paul
they
is
played
rooting for India
at
versus
Melbourne.
Australia
So
final.
this is one of those.
Not actually.
India, that's the
Okay.
same thing. I
I
also mentioned that
see India.
the main select. I mentioned,
I definitely
yeah.
see India reaching the semis. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
I definitely see India reaching the semis, and then it will become a become
Is it
like
a T20 World Cup or the 50 overs?
No, no. This
The
is the 20 over
T20.
tournament, right?
T20.
Yeah, 20 over
Yeah,
Yeah.
tournament. Also, I
T20
think
World
it's
Cup.
gonna be played in the UAE. So can India get some help with the spinners
Gaurav
and
Sky
all
is
those things?
staring that India versus Sri Lanka final. So
I guess
See,
there is this Sri Lankan player,
two
like
venues
right.
that they have
no,
selected.
for that I think Australia has good spinners also. Like
No, see,
Gardner is there, and one more was there. I'm forgetting her name,
Just
Jonathan or something.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
Jess
So
Jonathan.
they have good spinners also, and I think one King was also there.
the two
So
venues that they have selected for the whole tournament is Dubai and Sharjah. So Sharjah will
Yeah,
spin so much. Dubai is one of the grounds which swings so much. If you have seen the Dubai grounds in the IPL, obviously they are playing the tournament in late autumn, in October or November, so it will be pretty much due, especially in the second innings of the game. So the same thing is India's means. The same thing is the man's and women's side. How they handle the pressure. Indian side
Yeah,
is too
Sophie
much.
Molinax. Yeah, I think she did well in that final, WPL final. Sophie Molyneux.
And he did
yeah,
brilliantly
yeah.
in Bangladesh. The series they just played in
I
Bangladesh,
would like, but India has also some new good spinners coming. I think Sri Lanka Patil will be one
Yeah,
exciting
Priyanka
player to
Patil
watch.
has been, I think, that bright spot. She did excellently in the WPL. She was
Yeah,
injured in the Asia Cup, I think, which India lost to
Shrank,
Sri Lanka.
Shrank was excellent. Radha was excellent.
Yeah, Radha is
Shivana,
Radha
excellent.
Yadav and
Dipti, I think she's
Deepti
improved her
always.
batting also. She did excellently in the
but
100, I
all these
remember.
I've played. I've seen her played so many times in the crucial matches. They don't click. So I want to go with some new faces.
That's what I said. How
Yeah,
they
yeah.
I
handle the
think
pressure.
Harmanpreet has time and again stepped up in the, but somehow she's not got the assistance. Even the last
She's not
T20 World
that
Cup semi-final
consistent.
where she got run out, forgetting to ground her bat. Remember that
Yeah,
against Australia.
It is the
she
issue.
is not that consistent.
In
That's
the current Indian women's
What
side,
are
the
you
only
saying?
question
SLv
is
women are chokers.
Yeah.
no. In the
Prabhajit
current
is trying to
women's
say
side of
something.
the Indian team, the only question of selection is on Harmanpreet. She's the only one who is not performing at a consistent rate.
But
But
the
she's
thing is
also
that on her day, she can smash anybody. That's also
Yeah,
no,
the truth.
we
but see,
can't
like
expect.
Harmanpreet, yeah, exactly. I will like see there is this issue with Harmanpreet that she is like very important for India. She has all the potential that is needed to perform, but somehow she is not consistent. And I feel her consistency is something that bothers India the most. Uh, Otherwise,
Yeah,
like,
true.
but
Ashish is
if
absolutely
you
right.
remember, if you
Yeah, I
remember,
think in the
see,
last few years, only once Australia didn't reach the final of a ICC tournament in women's, and that was 2017 where Harman scored that 175.
the
No, the
thing is,
2016 they didn't reach there too.
But that has been a long time. That has been a long, long
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah.
see, but there is this thumb rule that I personally go by. Generally, is that a weaker team has to perform extraordinary to defeat a stronger team. Okay, you cannot just be average in every aspect and defeat a stronger team. In women's cricket, Australia is bounce ahead of any other team. So if you want to defeat Australian women team, you have to do something really exceptional. That came from Harmanpreet in 2017 when she scored 175. That was something which will be remembered in the history. Okay, so that something like that was needed to like defeat Australia. Similarly, something will be needed, and I somehow feel uh, the young girls like Smriti, that other one who plays for Delhi Capitals.
Shafali,
Definitely.
Not not Sefali, the other
Jemima,
one.
Jemima.
Rodri.
Okay. Rodriguez. I feel these two. I see some kind of grit in these two girls that some kind of grit in these two girls that is there. So I have really high hopes from these two people. And Shefali is always obviously there, and on her there she can just make the game one-sided. And but that again the same problem where which is with was with Virendra Sehwag, like very prone to throwing the wicket early.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
that
If
is the
she
case.
if she stays for at least 10 overs in the innings, the game is ours. That's the pretty crystal clear. And I
That's the
think
thing.
Smithy has actually handled her a pretty good rate, I would say, at the opening position. Smithy always keep him calm down. Let's go with that this rate. Let's not go too far ahead in the game. And I think they have actually dropped down Jemima at number 5, which I found bit of a blunder, I would say. Richa is one of the important parts of the whole batting order because how she is
True, true, true.
the
The
only
thing
loophole
with
in the whole team is the captain, and that can't happen. The captain is the one who has to lead the whole side.
the point is that Jemima doesn't have the that high power hitting ability. So the more you throw her down, the more kind of you are
True.
jeopardizing the batting. Richa Ghosh is someone, see, in Indian women's team. There are just two people who I feel have the power hitting capability. One is Richa Ghosh, the other one is Harmanpreet Kaur. They have brute force,
Yes.
and that is something which is needed at the lower of the innings to go to get the quick runs. So these two players are really important for with regards to that. And the one thing is, Indian women team bats really deep. Like Radha Yadav can bat, Pooja can bat. So
Yeah.
all this can bat. So the batting lineup is deep. But then you need someone who can score those quick runs somewhere. So Richa and Harmanpreet has some responsibility. I just feel that Dipti's batting style, uh, as Saptarshi mentioned, that she has improved her game, but previously her batting
Yeah,
style not that good
yeah. I think she's
in
not
cricket.
someone who can play at 6-7. I think she's more of a technical batter who can hold one end, but not that one. Not someone like an Ash Gardner or maybe in England. Don't exactly know the name. Who's playing? Who's the wicketkeeper in the England side? Uh, I saw, but don't exactly remember
Taylor,
the name.
Taylor.
No, no.
Taylor has
Taylor was long
Right,
time back. I
long
think.
time ago.
Amy Jones.
No, not sure. Let me check. Let me just check it off. You guys can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, meanwhile, I
maybe.
think we
Also,
can
meanwhile,
take some comments. Yeah.
I think, yeah, while Shubhradeep just checks it out, I think Utkarsh is saying, I see a rise of Sri Lankan cricket. If Jayasuriya continues, I think he should build the core of Sri Lanka around Kamindu Mendis, Nesanka, Bellage, Faisal Mendis, Pathirana, Thikshana, Asaranga as T20 specialists.
Yeah, Amy
I
Jones.
think not just
Yeah.
T20. I think the way Sri Lanka played in the last test match against England and now the current test match, the way they played against India,
Yeah.
I think they're going. I think they're slowly rising. But
yeah, certainly.
we
The
Have
have to
we have
see
we have we
away. Yeah.
discussed India Bangladesh Test match? Have we are we done with it? I just kind of
I,
No,
checked
I
out.
no,
think
we have a
it's
lot to
done
speak.
quicker than the test finished.
Okay, I thought
All
that we
right.
could speak a bit more. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
India, India have actually retained the same squad for the next test. Are you guys surprised? Or are you guys think, well,
No,
it's
I
Bangladesh?
want to go with the same
I
team
think
because
that was expected. That was expected, I think.
I was a little
Yeah.
bit
Yeah,
yeah,
also
surprised.
I
But
think
I
before
think
Shubhadeep came, we were having a discussion regarding should India give a rest to Bumrah and try out
Yeah.
someone like Kuldeep, someone like
well,
Yash Dayal.
you are asking me whether I should drop Kuldeep or rest Kuldeep for second test. I was in a kind of voting towards not having Bumrah for the whole series. I was really surprised when they picked Bumrah for the Chennai game. So I'm really surprised why they kind of retain him for the Kanpur test. You can easily give hand over yes Dayal a debut cap, or you can go with Akshar in the game, or Kuldeep in the game. Kuldeep will be one of those vital members if you want to win Australia, especially in Sydney or Melbourne, where the pitches will be flat and there will be an importance of the spin, especially on the fourth or fifth day. So he needs to have the confidence in him. He was smashed in the one game he played in the League Cup. He was smashed by points all over the park. So someone as a premier spinner, if you want to have the kind of a skill set, you also want the confidence in your side. Like the can't put test to be on a black soil pitch. So three spinners to be regularity on those tracks. I think Kuldeep should come back. If you don't see India has already have a better batting department. If you think the strong department is very strong, you can still go with Kuldeep. And if you think no, there is simply loopholes in the batting order, you can go with Akshar. So that's the kind of a similarity. You can go with Siraj, or maybe you can rest Siraj and go with Yasdal and Akasdeep, those two young pacers, and how they handle the pressure against Bangladesh. That is also another thing you can actually check. So I'm really surprised with the whole squad. How can you retain the same squad having played on such a heat of Chennai and continuing the same heat in Kanpur? And when you are actually hosting New Zealand, a pretty quality side against whom you can actually check your resources better than Bangladesh. So I'm really surprised. I'm really perplexed at what the selectors are thinking at the moment. Not really sure what they're thinking, but they're surely thinking something which I'm missing.
Yeah, I think Gambhir has suddenly gone in the defensive zone.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I think the ODI series, the loss to Sri Lanka, and that actually
Exactly.
has
Yeah.
put him under little pressure. You don't want to lose the first series at home as a head coach and, face the reporters in the presentation. So, yeah, couldn't be one of the things.
I think
He,
Anubhav
Yeah.
is asking, do you think Gill can be as versatile as Pujara in the number 3 spot district, considering he has an average well under 40 after about 50 innings?
see, See, Pujara and Gill are two different. You can't not compare Pujara with the Gill. Pujara is kind of a draw with. I wrote a piece on Gill before the start of the series, and I saw one of those stats who said Pujara had played almost 90 balls in an innings in his whole Test career, which was 102 balls per innings for Rahul Dravid, and basically in comparison, it's dropped down to 50 for Gill. So if he tends to play more deliveries in a game, he will score runs. Eventually, he did a century in the second innings of the Test match. So, he's more versatile. Pujara can't play shots that Gill has been playing. He's one of those guys who plays all
Yeah,
across formats.
definitely. I mean,
And
Gill has more shots in his repertoire, but I think you can't expect Gill to play like a Pujara who can play out 50 balls
Yeah.
for dot and then open his account. He will always go for his shots no matter what. He
yeah,
belongs to the modern era. He has that mentality. Go after the bowling.
yeah,
Also, I
but
saw somewhere that Gill has maybe better stats in the second innings. If you guys can throw
yeah,
some light on that.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
think yeah, most of his good knocks have come in the second innings, be it in the England series, that Gaba knock. Here
Yeah.
also, even in Bangladesh, I remember him scoring 100 in that first match in second innings. So most of his big knocks have come in the second innings.
yeah, it
the
is
only
actually.
thing is now Gill has to prove overseas, I think, because at home he will score runs. But when the ball does something and it swings and bounce, I want to see Gill scoring runs there, basically.
And that's the thing. If you want to win overseas, number three position will be pretty crucial, pretty important for the
Yeah,
batting department. And Pujara has done it. If you see the 2018, 2019, when he beat Australia in Australia, Pujara is one of the key figures of the whole batting order. He actually hold the whole batting order, and others can run around him. And it
Yeah,
was
I
the same
mean,
in 2020.
2021 also, like the
Yeah,
yeah, I
Gabba
mean,
he played.
Pujara was exceptional against Australia. Even the 2017 BGT at home, I think Pujara was the key member. I remember the Bangalore test where he and Rahane, India were in the tricky situation, trailing by around 90 in that first innings, and then they lost 3-4 wickets. I remember, and then Rahane and Pujara got that partnership, and then India defended 188 to level the series 1-all. They were under pressure. They had lost that Pune test by some 300 runs or something.
and I
Yeah.
won't say that same thing with. I won't compare the same thing, but I feel one of the reasons for Virat struggles in the Test format has come since Pujara has kind of a blocked out from the Test squad, because Gill is one of those players who doesn't play a lot of deliveries in Test matches. He plays, I think, 50 deliveries and gets out. So the difference is that if you are Pujara's batting and Kohli comes up, he knows that Pujara hold one end, and my job is basically to score runs in a pretty way, pretty normal with the way I play. So you can focus on your own batting, something which you
Yeah,
can't do with Gill's batting. A versatile player,
yeah,
he will get
coming
out. Some of the pressure come on me.
But
That's the
yeah,
yeah,
in
coming to
overseas,
Kohli's point.
in overseas we have seen Virat Kohli play, like coming out in 5 overs only. So
yeah.
he doesn't
That's
have
a,
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
you
South
can't actually,
Africa it was 2 wickets down, 3 wickets down.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
So that's what I'm talking about. That
when you
how he
when you
performs
gain
overseas.
yeah, when you gains experience by playing more in your career, you actually gains more fear in you, because if the batter who is batting with me is young and he gets out, then the whole pressure will come on me, which is not the something with when you are young, because you doesn't really care about it. You just care about your own batting. You just care about your free flowing batting, enjoying the middle. Something which doesn't happen when you gain experience, because the whole pressure is on you. The every whole country is looking at your saying he will pull it us from the situation. So I won't say it, but the whole struggle of Virat in Test matches has started since Pujara has been blocked out of the Test squad since the Australia series. I think he played at one series against Sri Lanka at home in 2020-2021, and since then he was left out from the Indian Test squad. And all these struggles that Virat has started since that point of
Yeah, I
time.
think Pujara made a comeback in the 2022 series against England. Then he played that Bangladesh series
No,
and all those.
yeah, he scored a century also there, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and then he played the home BGT of 23, then the WTC final, West Indies. No, I think after WTC final, he was dropped finally.
yeah, he has dropped. And I don't see India looking back at him at any rate. The way they are going, Sarfraz is
No,
waiting
I
in the.
think Pujara and Rahane days are over. You have to go for fresh blood.
That's the point.
Bloodline cricket is regarding T20 World Cup women's when Harmanpreet is going to step down as captain. Yeah, so that's what Shubhadeep was speaking of. From 6 years, when Smriti going to captain? So is Mandana going to be our successor?
I believe so. Yes. With IPL, with her winning the IPL, now this is almost certain.
And she was brilliant with the captaincy. With all the resources he had with RCB,
Yeah, RCB fans want to see her.
and to pull it off in the fashion, and you have under pressure because that your man's franchises hasn't done anything for 17 years, and now the whole pressure is on you. People are saying, "Oh, women's cricket, we will win the trophy," and they did. So, in the fashion is also how you handle pressure as a captain. That's also important, but also important how you actually handle the pressure as a captain. Because also does the thing with your bat, your primary job. Your primary job as a batter, as the opener, is to score runs for the team, and then is to lead the side. So she did both. He scored the runs for the RCB and also led the team in the same fashion. That was one of the things that impressed me the most. And then it will be more important how she actually backed it up in the next season, because there'll be more expectation on her how she retained the same performance with the bat and with the leadership duties the next season. Because the pressure, people see, when you don't do well, people don't focus on you. When you start doing well, the focus, attention are already on you, and under the
Yeah.
dim light, you tends to make mistake. You don't make mistake when everyone is looking at you. When there is so much focus, attention, writings, the paper, reporters are after you. That's the point of time when your character comes out. That's the point of time when you tends to make mistake, and that's where he's an average player and he's a supreme player. That's the difference between those two kind of players, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
also guys,
there's
keep
this.
watching.
Sorry,
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
on. Yeah,
No,
Ashish, go.
it reminds me of that line that Harsha Bhogle said that if I give you a plank and I ask you to walk, you'd simply walk it. But if I keep that plank in between two buildings,
yeah.
which are like
Yeah,
very tall buildings, and then I
exactly.
ask you to walk, then that is the difference which
There's
is
okay, what I
there.
fall, what I fall. That's the point.
Yeah, I mean, Man is just Man. I think I saw him back some time back. But anyways, he's just liking it. Also, guys, please watch our reviews, day-to-day reviews. We are making reviews of every match, the test matches, day-by-day reviews, the ODI matches, also England, Australia. So watch the reviews,
Yeah.
also the birthday specials and the shorts. And please, guys, share with more and more friends, more and more people. And please help us in growing this channel. Only your motivate, only your, I mean, sharing your inspiration will help us to go forward. So I think TMKOC edits is here. People
Yeah.
are making cryptic messages, and WTC Blood Kohli is going to main wicket because he shifted.
I actually saw one of those videos today on Brad Hogg's YouTube channel, where one of those users asked him whether Brad should retire, because of his poor form. And I was surprised. They're asking Brad to retire from test matches. And Brad Hogg actually admitted the fact that Brad is struggling. So one of the time will come when the selectors will say, "Hey, you are not performing, so we are going to drop you from the test squad." Is it going to happen? No. I mean, you cannot drop Virat. Either he will retire, or he will say, "That's it. We will keep on you." I mean, you can't drop him from the test squad, can you? Because there's not much resources out in the middle. Some of the questions going on around Virat's struggle is quite kinetic, to be honest. And I think I
Those
think
who are
what
questioning without retirement, they should watch his batting in South Africa in this year only.
yeah,
That's
this
what
year
I'm
only.
telling. That
It's
no,
hard.
he's the only one who will save you.
Yeah,
If
because I
not the
don't
only
know.
one of the persons. So
I
this
don't know
question
about
will,
you guys. I don't know about you guys, but I always find South Africa is the hardest place to bat.
yeah,
They swing,
Yeah,
they
surely,
seam, they
surely.
bounce. I mean, there's
not just
everything.
South
See,
Africa. The Adelaide Test match, if you remember, that 74 which he made.
yeah,
So
Yeah, pink
where
ball.
everybody was struggling, that is one of the top knocks. So overseas, I think how like I don't know.
Just
Yeah, he has been struggling against spin. I agree, but he will be the one who will be guiding you in overseas. So you cannot uh, that is the main thing because at home anyways somebody will score. Maybe Virat can also score the next match, but the point comes when you go overseas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when that's the point. Okay.
as
Because
you know that like statistically, India has never won a test series in South Africa. So that only speaks how tough it is to play in South Africa for
yeah,
India, for someone who grew up playing in India. So that's the story.
Okay.
Also, I
Uh,
We
think
have a
there were
comment, I
comments on that
guess.
Sri Lanka New Zealand series also. I think Gaurav Saha was saying on that. So
No, we just have a comment on, I think, Virat Kohli. So if you can pin that comment.
yeah, I think all takes
That's
name of Virat because I think in some sense it is true only because yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That's at some side. That is the actual truth. You want the popularity of your words. You want limelight. You just use the word. That was the same case used to happen when you used to talk about Sachin, when you used to talk about MS, when you used to talk Kapil Dev, and all the big figures in Indian cricket. You just take the name and you come in on limelight. And that's something which will keep on happening in the future. Rishabh
so
Pant and Shubman Gill, Bumrah. I Yeah, I saw one of those people just hammering Bumrah because of a social media post. Are you really serious with your mental health? Really? You are smashing that guy who is the premier bowler of the whole, not about the whole country, but the
uh,
whole world cricket
can
across
I
formats.
elaborate more on the post issue? We are not able to. What is the post issue?
I think, Bumrah was asked
Oh,
about the most fittest guy in the Indian cricket,
okay,
and he
okay,
said,
okay.
I feel myself is
yeah,
the fittest guy. And he can think it is tough job. Fast bowling is a tough job. He can think whatever he think. If he thinks that he is the fittest guy, what is the issue with it?
and
That's his
what's the
own
issue
thing.
in being self-confident?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he didn't only say that. He said that I know what is the name that you are looking for, but
Yes,
I'm.
correct, correct.
right. He
That was
mentioned
the
it. He
whole entire
mentioned it.
statement in it. And see,
And reporters
see,
asked because they know it will be Virat. Sometimes
as
it blows your
already
mind off.
mentioned, I guess Gambhir has already said that India is not a nation first country; they are a player first
Yeah,
country,
they
and
are.
the biasness is left, right, and center, and we just cannot help it. This has been the case since I have started watching cricket in the early 2000s. From then till now, this has been the same. I don't know why this happens, but this keeps on happening.
I
This
mean,
keeps on
came in
happening, and
more
then
into prominence with Sachin. I think this thing came
yeah,
more into prominence.
this is the fact. And my father used to tell me that whenever there is one of the newspapers, they will keep Sachin's name, even though the news is not about Sachin, but they will keep just his name because of the headline. And that has been going on for say 20 years, 30 years. And
That's
this
the
is the
offline version of clickbait.
that is the case.
Kind of.
And that actually happens so much time in India, which is I don't find it so many times. Okay, let's not just take our
Okay,
eyes off the Sri Lanka news
we have a new
newspaper.
comment from Virat in my heart. So I
Yeah.
am very impressed with Rachin Ravindra, the way he's playing in tests, the way he played in World Cup 2023. Sorry, but he's better than Gill, I would say.
Uh,
Uh,
let's not make
yeah.
comparison.
Also in the context of Sri Lanka New Zealand, do you think Dhananjaya De Silva could have agreed for that extra half an hour tonight, or did it do it right to take it the next day?
Um, I find it
I guess
realistic.
he probably understands the condition of the fitness of his own bowlers, uh, and game conditions. So I guess the decision that he took, yeah, probably he could have just taken the half an hour more and wrapped up the game at the night itself. But if he felt that it was better to take it to the next day, then probably not only that, taking the game to the next day would probably reset Rachin's
That's my point. Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah.
He has to start
focus.
all over again. Start all
Yeah,
So
over
I mean,
again.
And
Sachin was thought of in a zone, and he was just, it was impossible to get him out. So maybe just try to reset him again.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
point he mentioned about the work management of the spinners, we always talk about the work management of the fast bowlers, but it's not easy if you spin the ball. The fingers get swallowed. It gets
yeah,
painful if you kind of rip it. And it's not like us bowling at a 30 kilometer, 40 kilometer
yeah.
per hour speed. They all
I
balls
think
have
we
been
take
tied.
spinners for a bit granted. I think
Yeah, it
compared
is
to
a
fast
fact.
bowlers.
I was talking one of those. I was having a chat about the conversation, and one of those guys said, Pacers have a walk through management. The spinners can't go to walk management. That's rubbish. Spinners do have to take a rest. That's why. Otherwise, they could have actually bowled for the whole day. You are playing in India. They could have easily bowled a 45 over spell easily, but they can't because the fingers get jammed at one of the five. I remember in my old, I think it was 3 years ago, I bowled 6 overs a spell in a whole game. I can't just hold a pen for the next 3 days. That's how painful it was. The fingers get swallowed, it gets rigid, it gets kind of fatty for more. You cannot just move it in a simple way. And Pravat Jayasuriya has bowled around 70 overs for 2 days. Almost.
Your voice is breaking.
I think your voice is breaking, Subhadeep.
Yeah,
Okay. Can you hear me now?
it's
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
now.
Okay, the mic was struggling. The fact I mentioned is that Prabhat Jayasuriya has bowled 16 overs for the 2 days. And one thing we mentioned is yesterday was a rest day, but it was a rest day for the New Zealand team. It wasn't the same case with Sri Lankan players. They had to travel to their own countries. So for Ashita Fernando had to travel for 280 kilometers to his own village for the vote. It was only Kushal Mendes, whose home is Gully, and they can actually have a bit of a stroll in the voting route and can vote it. But for others, they have to travel at different places and come back again, so they are pretty tired, for travels. And also the
True.
fact that between those two test matches, there's only 2 days left. So the next game starts on Thursday, and if Sri Lanka bowls on the first day, Jayasuriya has to bowl so many overs again with the spin, and you don't want your spinners to break down. You don't want to put. What will happen if they play half an hour and they don't finish it off? Then they have to again come back tomorrow. So and there's no guarantee that they will finish it off tomorrow this day. And the point he mentioned, Ashish mentioned, Rachin Ravindra has to start all over again. He was batting in supremely. Sometimes the batter's eyes get set up with the light of the day. Sunlight is kind of the eyelids get set up with all the things. Now tomorrow, fresh day, the bowlers will be fresh ideas, fresh things, and he has to start all over again. He's also batting with a kind of a tail, I would say, Ajit Patel. So doesn't know how he will survive in those conditions. The pitch will be under rose. It will gain more kind of a heat tomorrow, in a day, and there is no much rain prediction, and you need just two good deliveries to get those 2 wickets. So I don't see any issues. But not actually opting up for
I
the
think it is Sri Lanka's game. I think, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Sri Lanka needs 2 good overs. New Zealand will still need maybe another 15 overs of play at least.
New Zealand need more than 2 overs. I
And
mean,
if somehow New Zealand wins, it will be like Uzi Ravindra. Like it will be
I
some
think
Yeah, I
James
mean,
Bond kind of
WTC will get
stuff.
more interesting if New Zealand wins the game. WTC
It,
would get
I mean,
interesting.
do you see Rachin Ravindra playing normally tomorrow morning, trusting Ajaz Patel, or do you see him going bang, 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 and like Ben Stokes of Headingley or something like that, and
he
only doing whatever he can?
Rachin Ravindra's trust Ajit Patel more than my parents believe me. That's pretty true. I'm saying he was giving them singles on the first delivery, and Prabhat just was bowling with all those infields kind of there. And I was saying, why are you doing that? Are you really really serious
I
with
think
your
that is
batting?
the experience comes in how you play like pretenders. I think he has not yet played with
Rachin
pretenders.
Stokes. Okay.
Rachin
So
Stokes, yeah. I mean, but do they have the capability? William Rourke is playing in second test. Uh, I don't know about the batting. I think New Zealand had a pretty good chance of winning this test match. I said it pretty earlier that the surface was undercover, so it was cooled down, not gain some heat
Yeah, I
tomorrow. So
think also they did well with the ball today. I mean, Sri
brilliantly
Lanka were
ball.
200 odd up on Friday, and today just 70 more runs. But I think they needed someone to assist Rachin. I mean, they're only the Blundell partnership. Apart from that,
okay,
they didn't have any
we have
significant
comment
partnership.
from Life Motivated. He's telling Rachin Jadeja. So
No,
Rachin
Rachin.
Jadeja. That's
that makes
whatever.
more sense because he's a spinner and yeah,
Yeah, and
My, my
left-handed.
my
yeah,
So
question
both.
to you guys is
exactly.
what about Devon Conway's place? Started off pretty brilliantly with that double century at Lords, but since then he
Yeah.
has kind of
I mean,
played.
nothing has gone right for Devon Conway since that 150 at Ahmedabad in the World Cup opener.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only suggestion is that give him a series against Pakistan to get back in form.
See, Sri Lanka be like watching become Stokes. Sri Lanka be like Ben Stokes. Okay. See, Devon Conway, I have a bit of an issue with Devon Conway. Why if I'm saying it that he's already 33 and he's
Yeah,
average
he
at
made his
1.7.
debut late.
I mean, he had an excellent debut in all three formats. At one point, I think after 5, 10 matches, he was averaging 50 plus in all three formats. He was their regular player in all three formats, and he was doing pretty well. But I think last, even he did
Even in
well in the
IPL.
IPL.
Yeah, yeah.
IPL also, yeah, man of the match in that final, that rain hit final. But I think since I mean the World Cup opener, he just smashed England all around the park with Rachin Ravindra. But since then, the runs have dried up. He's not got the runs. He had a terrible Bangladesh series also. Then he got injured in that Australia series, missed the entire IPL, came back to the T20 World Cup, struggled there also badly. And I think nothing is going right for him at the moment.
I mean, they're playing this one test, another test match at Gully, then three test matches in India, then another three at home against England, and I think they will host West Indies next summer. So where at a point of time they will think of dropping Devon Conway and move away from him and look at some of the other opportunities.
Yeah, if
What
they
are the
drop Devon Conway, who is the replacement? Will Young?
William could be one of those players. He
I
played
think
one of
last time
the
he did well in India. He got an 86 or something, if I remember,
yeah,
in
but
Kanpur.
but the issue is New Zealand is one of those countries who doesn't really have so many resources in their bank. So I don't know. I haven't seen so many New Zealand domestic games of late.
Yeah,
So I don't
the
know
New
who they
Zealand
have.
cricket is going through a turmoil right now, I would say, because the main bowlers are getting older and the new players are not stepping up.
That's a
I
good
think
point from Utkarsh. The wrist injury he had, the bat swing has changed. If you see his kind of the way he turns, if you see his
okay,
batting
the
speed,
comment is deleted, I think. Okay.
the way he's stood with his bat at the batting position, it has changed from the way he started at Lords. I feel he's also thinking about his own form, which is not easy if you are injured for a long, long time. You know your batting is not clicking in a shortest format. New Zealand is also talking about transition mode. Kane maybe take his name off the T20 side, and I'm not sure about your ODI side. So why are you here? Actually, his record, if you see in the ODI side, that's decent. I would say an average of 45 with 32 games. It's decent at the moment, but New Zealand are not playing. Actually, he is not playing any ODIs in this rest of the year because he will be in South Africa by the time they host Sri Lanka at home for the ODI series in December. So he will be playing for Joburg Super Kings in S20.
Yeah.
He won't be playing any ODIs in the rest of the year and straightway move to Champions Trophy, which is for now being scheduled to Pakistan. I'm not sure about his future, but that is a little bit of a concern about
But
Devon
I
Conway.
think in Pakistan he can play good, I think, because of flat pitches, not much movement.
See,
Maybe
I
he
don't think
can.
his problem with his technique and all. Maybe he's just not getting those things. I think he was a pretty good player of spin also in when he was doing well. He could use that sweep and reverse sweep very well. Maybe I think pace bowling was maybe not his best zone, but I think he played spin better than pace.
Yeah.
He played. Yeah, that's a true. And I think if I won't say the one thing that gonna pinch me, but are New Zealand doing a right thing by looking at some of the players like Mitchell Santner? His bowling is not up to the mark in this format, and his batting is pretty average in the longest round of the game. The way some of the dismissal you have to see, it's not about his average only, but the way he has been dismissing, has been dismissed, in the off late, in the red ball format. So even if there is few players who should be retained in the test side before the new
Yeah, I
India.
mean maybe they don't have enough spinners. I remember previously they used to play Will Somerville maybe once in 4 years.
Yeah, William Somerville. Yeah, that was one of those players. Yeah, true.
Ajaz Patel also, I think he's till now played only 12, 13 tests. So he's
Yeah, 16.
mostly not
I think
played.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now they've included Glenn Phillips because he can bat down the order.
Yeah. So
The
Yeah,
last
Utkarsh
time,
is
that
asking. Yeah,
speaks
Utkarsh,
volumes.
definitely we will come back to Australia, come to Australia
That speaks
in some
volumes.
time.
If you have to pick Glenn Phillip in the test squad, then
I
that
think
shows.
that is Kyle Jamieson after 20 he's not seen, he's kidnapped. Once a time people say Maybe he came only to deny India the WTC title and then he vanished.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he is very
You
much
see,
injury prone.
it
I
just
think he
shows
was in
Yeah, I
how
think
RCB
important.
also.
last day also we were having a discussion on Kyle Jamison and how he became slightly ineffective also after his repeated injuries. I remember him playing against England, but he was smashed all around the park, and he wasn't the same Jamison we saw in 2021, where that I mean tall guy that bounce and the accuracy he had. I think he lost his
He reminded
form,
me
to be
of
honest.
Andrew Flintoff to some certain extent.
Yeah, Andrew Flint does one, and I think it also shows the importance of any board to manage their pace bowlers, especially those pace bowlers who have a bit of a different sheer quality in their whole kind of a bowling department. And and the point is, if you see Jamison Paul, he used to kind of slide down towards the leg side, one of those points, and that is the point where West is kind of a stress factor is one
I
struggling
think
Yeah.
with.
his yeah. Also, Jamison could bat down the order. I remember him getting crucial runs against India in that series in 2020. Even in the 2021 WTC, I think he got some runs slogging against Shami and all those bowlers in that final WTC final. So he could bat also down the order. I mean, he got that hefty contract with RCB also at that point of time, 15 crore or something.
Bro
If
just
we
retired after that. Like so much money.
took the whole money and went off for a dinner or for a holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
Like Chris,
Yeah.
enjoy the
I
time.
remember Chris Morris getting that IPL contract from RCB. The next season he
Yeah.
retires.
And it's always RCB in the hitting line. They always offer the huge money, and the players kind of flew off. New Zealand going with the transition with the less media hype. It seems like they have become minnows, not minnows, but ODI stats is better than England. Well, England. Let's talk about England. What are they doing, man? They lost their
England is
10th
also
ODI.
going through a uh,
I actually
Transition
checked the
phase.
match venue again. I thought the series was played in Australia, but then I saw okay, so England is playing so poorly in England, and I was surprised. What's happening?
I think what Harry Brooks said at the end of the match that Adil Rashid is having the most runs
Most,
among us. I think he said something like that.
it's
I
unbelievable. That's what I believe, that whenever England do it, they always comes up with excuses, and that's what I not like. I don't know. If you have lost, just accept it that you have not played well. It was your conditions, and it was on your ground, and you could not chase 270. And I don't know. The first match is scored 300, and the moment Stark and Hazelwood came, he just your batsman couldn't play him. Then
Yeah.
you
So
should
England cricket,
think
they
about.
were going through a tough phase. I remember uh, in the Test cricket, and then all of a sudden the Test cricket improved, and all of a sudden we are seeing the white ball format struggle. So that has been the story. I mean,
Test
under
Test
Jake
cricket
yeah,
also.
Dickens,
Test
Sam
cricket
Curran
also.
lookalike.
well, Jack Dickens, his whole
I
England
think
ground.
he is that Sam Curran lookalike who was there in the World Cup.
yeah,
See, one thing that happened is that the England red ball side, because of the improvement, they took so many resources from the ODI side, and that was hampered the way the preparation of Josh Butler to the ODI World Cup last year in India. That actually hampered because of their kind of a focus towards the test side, how they're gonna make the development of the
Yes.
test side. That has hampered it. Now the test side has become developed. Now they are trying their best to take some resources from test side, and it's a huge
But
issue. And that's why I
but
said,
test side is also your playing developed. On overseas, I don't think it's that developed, and against strong teams. So
but still,
be it India
yeah, but still,
or
it has come to a point where you can say we are winning at least at home. Under Joe Root,
yeah,
they are
Yeah,
losing.
the thing is, from winning 1 out of 11, they are winning better than that. I
They're
think
very
at that
bad.
point of time, they were winning 1 out of 11. Now they're at least winning 5 out of 11, like that.
And,
yeah. But still, I
and
want to say when Jorut is not performing, then I would want to see how they win at home. That's the main question for me.
yeah.
Because the main man for them is Jorut, and you could see the third match where Jorut doesn't perform, the team struggled. So that
and
would
at
be
that point,
my
and at that point of time when the whole transition happened, it was only McCullum for the red ball side, and he doesn't need to think about it, the white ball side, how they're gonna improve. Now he has to think both: is white ball or red ball. So either he's going to say, "I'm going to develop my red ball side and don't put focus on the white ball side," or the vice versa. One of the teams is going to be under the bus, and that's what's going to happen in the next future. And I think the mindset has been pretty poor. Yeah, Ashish.
Let's firstly, for a brief moment, talk about this unique concept of having coaches for different formats. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel this is a very weird thing to do. Matlab, see, it is just like you have a teacher for one subject, and then in the next week you have someone else teaching you the same stuff. Like that's so weird. Like there's a thing of compatibility of the players with one coaching style, one coach.
Correct.
Like the
Life
sponsorship.
motivator. There's a
Jamie
comment
Smith
I
is a
Jeremy
very
see.
good
Smith is a
player.
very good player.
Yeah, yeah. I was literally impressed the way he was batting. Like he
Yeah, I
has,
think I was seeing Ashish making some shots on his on. He was saying something regarding Jamie Smith yesterday.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was really impressed. I had no idea
Utkarsh
who it was. I was
Utkarsh
just
was commenting that I think
and
because of Harry Brook, England team became worse, accommodating him caused a major loss to England.
see,
Yeah, because
Harry Brook is
Harry Brook
another.
also who
Yeah,
started
yeah.
very well, but after that Pakistan series, like I'm not recounting any good knocks for him.
You see, he's also that hot and cool kind of a player. He hasn't been consistent as such. He hasn't made such consistent given that consistent performances. Harry Brook was kind of regarded as the next big star from England and so on and so forth. But he didn't do anything as such. I remember it was one of the games I went to watch at Eden's, and from the first ball of Umesh Yadav, he struck that boundary and then he
Yeah,
went to
that was
score
his
700
only significant knock in that season
knock in that
Yeah,
season. Yeah,
when he got the 13 crore check.
yeah, but Harry Brook hasn't like clicked. I was very impressed when he dropped his name from the Daily Capital side because I knew he was going to be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean Harry Brooks, my favorite knock, I would say in New Zealand. I think it was in Wellington only, where England lost by 1 run. He
yeah.
came in at 21 for three, scored that 182 at almost run a ball or something, and that was his best knock, I would say, in Test cricket in challenging conditions.
I am not. I'm not really perplexed with that split coaching subject. If you want to talk about that, I think it's important at this point of time for one coach to handle red ball and white ball. That's pretty.
Yeah,
I think pretty much tough. It's not easy. If you are actually traveling around the world for the red ball side for about 8 months and then to focus again on the red ball side, that's pretty much tough. So I was not, I am not, and will not be in support of Brendan McCullum handling both the sides, red ball and white ball. That's not going to be easy. In the past, it happened. Trevor Bayliss was one of those
Yeah.
England coaches who actually cracked the test code, but couldn't actually be able to find the right motivation. And it's really that's why they changed the whole. They changed Alistair, they changed Trevor Bayliss, brought another captain in Morgan and his coaching style, and that's what I been finding it pretty tough to happen, especially the demand. England plays so much cricket in a year, so much cricket. I think more than I think it's almost like a joint version of India and Australia. They play
Yeah.
Yeah,
so much.
also, do you think this might play a role in
okay.
Harry
We have a
Brook's
comment
batting?
from
I saw Shubhadeep
Krishnan
writing
that
something also yesterday. Harry Brook is playing so much. I mean, he has played three matches against West Indies, then the 100, then three matches against Sri Lanka, now the ODI series, five match. Then he will move to Pakistan in a week's
And
time.
that
Then he
that's
will go
what
to West Indies, then
that
in
was
New
my
Zealand, then India.
okay,
that
we
was
have a
my
comment from
question.
Krishnan that present England team is not good at ODI. The only way they know to play is at one tempo. There is no stabilizer in a team.
Yeah, yeah. Coming back to
That
it,
was
I guess if
yeah.
Shubhadeep,
That's what
yeah.
I want to add a question that isn't Joru fit yet for the ODI team? Like
But do you
he is
want to
young.
pressurize Joe Root even more,
Yeah.
like Harry Brook?
My point was yesterday I wrote a piece. I think you guys see
Yeah, I
was
saw it.
whatever it was, but it was a piece on yeah, it was a piece on how much cricket is too much. Where will we say that that is too much cricket? I think Harry Brook is one of the players who should be regarded as one of the best of England cricket for the future, as have been talked about. But if he's one of the players who wants to play across the formats, can he play it? He can't. If you are a human, you cannot play in the England side across format. Even if you are a magician, whatever it is, you cannot play it simply. That's the pretty true thing. He played that one series in West Indies against West Indies at home, 3 match series. He played all the three matches because he's a batsman. There's another kind of a true thing that batsmen don't have to go through workload management. It is tough. You are batting in the heat. You're facing 200 deliveries in a game. you are under a bit of a, bit of a dolly. You are under a bit of drain things. So he played
And
those
then he
three games.
captained at the 100.
Did captain the 100, not the Subhadas. They failed to make the finals by a little bit of points. Then he come back and play the Sri Lanka series. Then he's playing captaining the ODI side. Just 3 days after
Yeah, in
they
a
make
week's time, he will play in the scorching heat in Rawalpindi and all those matches.
it's a week's time, but they have to depart for Pakistan on Wednesday.
No,
That's
that
two
match
days.
he will not miss. I'm sure.
That's
Those
2 days
matches he will
after.
not miss.
Yeah, the 2 days after the final ODI against Australia, they're departing for Pakistan. They will land on Pakistan, and 2 days later they're playing in Rawalpindi. They're playing
Yeah.
Multan, and Rawalpindi. Then you
Yeah.
come, and then you're thinking, okay, I have to develop my ODI side. Then he will take a flight back to West Indies, play three ODIs, five T20s, then take another flight. 2 weeks off, he goes to New Zealand, play another Test match series, then take another flight to South Africa, plays the South Africa T20, then take another flight, comes to India, ODI
India
side T20 series, then goes to Pakistan, the Champions
Champions
Cup,
Trophy.
then comes to India, plays the IPL, then goes to against back home England, Zimbabwe series, India series, South Africa series, West Indies series,
And then
and
down under.
down under. I mean, I am tired seeing it. Think about the player who is playing it.
Also, I
We
think
only
this is giving a rise to the mental issues which quite a few players have talked about.
Yeah,
Glenn
yeah.
Maxwell talked about. Ben
my
Stokes took a
goodness.
break. Even Virat spoke about the mental
You
issues
know,
these days.
you are going to break him down mentally, physically, or anythally, whatever it is. I mean, I mentioned that one line that Michael Holding spoke about in the piece that if you want to build a plant, to nursery a plant, you have to kind of decide the amount of water you're going to put on him. You cannot keep him under a tap. You open the tap and put the plant and expect it will grow in a day. It won't happen. It will just die in the before your eyes.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the point is, he mentioned the words of Wahab Riyaz. He said Wahab Riyaz bowled that spell at
Shane Watson.
Shane Watson in 2015 at Adelaide. Can you see Wahab Riyaz bowl the same spell 2 days later? He can't. And Gaurav Kapoor was the presenter at the point. I said you have to fire him up, and Michael Holding was like, no. Even if you fire up a fast bowler, there's a bit of a tendency that if you fire a fast bowler, he will come with full pace. If your body doesn't allow you to bowl with full pace, no matter how fired up are you, no matter how rigid are you with yourself, you cannot push your body, because the moment you push your body before the allowance, and sometimes happens that bowlers get angry and try to push themselves too much, then the injuries too happen. The Utkarsh was asking that day that why Australians are get so much injured. This is the reason. Sometimes you push yourself a bit too much. We bowl a 6 over spell. You're thinking, I'm a little bit tired, a bit of a niggles here and there. Should I bowl the seventh over? And you think, okay, I have a chance to pick up a wicket. And you go for the seventh over. You bowl the 6 balls thinking, oh, it's just a couple of 6 balls. You just bowl this, nothing. Why not? We always talk about why didn't he give in the seventh over? He bowls 6
Okay,
overs,
we have a
has
comment
the
from
energy.
Utkarsh, but
Can't he go for the
as
seventh over?
according to Rashid Latif logic, Hadid Book should marry and have kids to manage his workload and
Yeah,
pressure.
actually, Rashid Latif and Basit Ali, he said that Babar should marry and have
Yeah.
kids, just regain the form, which was quite funny. But yeah, coming back to the point that you cannot let. I mean, this time there is too much cricket. Even as a fan, I am a huge someone who follows the game so much internationally and domestically. It's hard for me to follow the game at the same rate. I open the TV at the day. There is several channels, like say 10 channels, telecasting 10 different leagues, and the international games. The two countries are playing, and it becomes tiresome. You say Sri Lanka, New Zealand is playing. India, Bangladesh is playing. England and Australia is playing. There is a West Indies,
Afghanistan, South Africa.
Afghanistan, South Africa are playing. There is the Caribbean Premier League. There is another Premier League of Legends League. They bring the Legends League. What is
Yeah, the Dulip Trophy is going on. India won it today.
Yeah.
I mean, Legends League. What is this? You're retired. You have to play it out. Just because you have to learn something, you
And
have here and there funny.
Yeah,
yeah.
these days, I mean, there is 4 or 5 leagues going on for legends only.
What is
and
this?
and not just this. I mean, this is when you're talking of the mainstream. And now one day I was just checking my mobile and I just used this search term that cricket matches today, and I saw teams like Myanmar, Greece. I mean, oh my god, Malaysia, these teams are also playing. I mean, what the hell is happening? So
Yeah,
you can
USA
only
is also
imagine.
playing. US and Namibia match is going on.
I mean,
Yeah,
Greece,
I think
Malaysia. I
Brazil have
never
played.
heard these
Brazil,
teams.
Argentina
Yeah,
also
yeah.
plays.
No,
I think
Italy,
Greece is
Argentina, all of these teams play.
yeah, that is true.
That's a good sign for cricket actually. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
This play. Actually, I use these examples to fight with my friends who are football fans and say cricket is not a global sport. I say, look at these things.
no, no, no,
But
no, no. Cricket
for
is
a normal
2.5 million. Is the
but
second
for a
most viewed.
but for a normal country who is playing so much, how are we playing too much? That's my whole
See,
context of the
see,
point.
there is this
I'll send you
milk
guys
the
the
cow
piece
till
if
it
you can
dies.
read it out.
There is this proverb, right? Milk the cow till it dies. The
Till
Indian
it dies, and
India
that's
is
one
doing
thing.
the same with cricket. Okay,
Yeah,
they are just milking it, and I am surprised with the kind of unemployment and the loneliness our population has that we are watching it.
We are watching it actually. That's
okay.
the
I think
point.
Utkarsh was, but as a comment, I think Ritik can read it out. I think I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
able to
reading it out,
decode.
but yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not
able
very
to get.
sure. Some extreme mathematical terms used here. Okay, so
Yeah,
I sometimes feels bad for Babar. Beside trolling from a human perspective, he's batting from Chunotio. I guess
He's
you
battling
say
from.
Chunotio to C square.
what is that?
Utkarsh,
I'm not able to decode.
can you simplify it a bit?
We are,
I
yeah,
think
we are not.
Just to mention,
Einstein here.
just to mention Utkarsh, there are 5 idiots sitting there, so we can't actually crack your code.
Yeah, you're
Just
thinking us to like on live thing solve mathematics. Is it
just
correct?
crack the code.
I think if he's using the word chunoti, I think that stands for challenges. And what is C square then? C square,
But
I'm not very
so we are
sure.
coming from TMK series, which I think the audience is having fun right now. So who is going to marry with?
Yeah, whenever Pakistan's name gets involved, there's a bit of fun around.
Is the C in that Utkarsh comment stands for the word I'm thinking? I'm not really sure about it. It could
Okay,
well
now I
Okay,
happen.
got the word.
But
Now I
can't
got the
take
word,
that word on air, to be
but I can't
honest.
use the word. Yeah, now I got the word.
Ah, sorry, well, copyright.
But
okay.
if
So
we,
we are coming from TMKC edits. I think Saptarshi can answer that.
if we use those words, we'll be famous like the two guys from Pakistan.
Oh no. We're gonna
Mm.
marry Bauer, marry with Bauer as the like comments the partner, but no one wants to like. Oh no, please, let's come back to cricket. Why do
I
I?
Let's
think
not
getting back to
delve into personal
Utkarsh's,
lives.
I think getting
Yeah.
back to Utkarsh's serious comment, they carried Ali Bears to Folkestone Brook in World Cup 23. No, Stone wasn't there, right? Stone
Stone
wasn't
wasn't
there.
not there. No, no, Stone wasn't
Yeah,
not there.
Brook also
He
played only
says
a couple of matches. I think he did well in the Afghanistan match, but he didn't get a lot of matches. So to be honest, if I ask you for guys, England's most probable 11 in the Champions Trophy, if I start with Shubhradeep.
Probable 11. Well, I will have Ben Duckett, Johnny West. Bring back Johnny at number
So
three.
you're bringing back Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny. I don't think Phil Salt really. If Josh Butler is okay, I will keep him at number 5. Number 3 is Joe Root. 4 is Harry
Yes.
Brook. 5 is Butler. Who
Do
do we
you see
have?
Ben Stokes again coming back?
No, no.
That's tough.
Tough.
When was the last time he played? The ODI World Cup he played.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ODI World Cup, and I remember him. The reporter asked him a question at the end of the Pakistan match: "Are you coming back again from retirement for the Champions Trophy?" He said, "I have not decided it again. It all depends on the workload and injuries, although."
See,
Yeah.
he can. See, he can. The only
And then
reason is
another question is: if he comes back, will he play as a all rounder, or will he play as a specialist batter?
I
if
don't
Ben Stokes,
think
if Ben
he will play as a specialist all rounder. Then he's going to play as a batter only.
if Ben Stokes is playing as a batter, I am removing him from the team. If he's not giving me overs under his belt,
Yeah.
Yeah,
no point
You
keeping
want
him.
him because of his all round capabilities.
Only
Yeah.
reason
yeah. I
that
The
think
same with
if he's
Hardik
not
Pandya.
scoring those overs, then better go for the ones who are playing throughout the year.
I think he can actually play Champions Trophy. The fact is that England's Test series in New Zealand ends just before the Christmas, so you'll have at least 7 weeks off day, 7 weeks off, and he can easily come to
Also,
Pakistan. He has played twice in
also, who is
Pakistan.
that? Who is that one who is gonna give you overs in the top six? You need that all rounder in the top six.
I love pace. I love pace in Pakistan. If they're playing in Pakistan and they have to play a few games in Dubai or Sri Lanka because India is playing there, you're going to be sure of it. So they need pace. I'm going with Jofra. I'm going with Ollie Stone, Ghost Atkinson, the
Adil
three pace.
Rashid's there, anyways.
Anyway, Adil Rashid is there. I will
And who is
have,
that number six? So number 6 and 7, the ones who are gonna give you those overs and also
yeah.
bat.
So as I said, Bairstow, Duckett, Root, Brook,
Butler.
Butler, Stokes. For a moment, I'm keeping Stokes at the moment in the time. Liam
And you are
Livingston.
considering him to give you overs.
Yeah, Liam Livingston at number, what is it? 5, 7.
7.
8 is Rashid. 9, 10, 11 Archer, Atkinson, and Stone. Or
Also,
Stone.
Livingstone, I rarely see him play effective knocks. I mean, on his day he can be lethal, but that on his day comes once in a full moon.
Yeah, that's the issue. You have to be consistent in ODI cricket. And I think,
And I think he's more suited for T20. I have never seen him play. I think the last time I saw him play well in ODI cricket was in that New Zealand series last year before the World Cup. There was that one match where they collapsed, and I think he played well at the end of the innings. But apart from that, But then again, I mean, he gives those crucial overs. He has the knack of picking up wickets in the middle overs. I think that's one place. If you don't play him, then you have to go for Jacob Bethel because Moeen is not playing anymore.
let's say Stokes is not playing, then who are going with? We are going
Yeah,
to
so
have
if
a
Stokes is
pace
not
bowling
playing, who
all-rounder.
is that all rounder?
Yeah, that's the issue because they need a pace bowling all-rounder. I don't
Is
think
he fit? Sam Curran, is he fit?
I would
But you
not
can't
go
play
with
Sam
Sam
Curran at
Curran.
6, I think. Or you can
He's
play Sam Curran at
no,
6.
no. Yeah,
then
he is
is
to
there
me a
have
running spinner.
Yeah, you can play Will Jacks, but then he's a spin bowling all rounder. He won't give you
no,
those pace overs. Who
you
is
can actually promote Livingston at number 6, put Sam Curran at number 7. That I can
Yeah,
play.
maybe that's. I mean, you can't depend on Sam Curran for 10 overs. You have to put a backup bowler, so that
I am a
have to
little
be
bit,
Livingston.
yeah, Jacks.
And
Jacks.
also if Root can roll over his arms for a couple of overs.
Okay, Utkarsh has given his team. He said Duckett, Crawley, Root,
Okay, so he's
Stokes.
bringing by Zach Crawley.
Yeah, Crawley could be a good point, but I'm not sure about Crawley. See the Crawley, Root, Stokes, James Smith. Yeah, James Smith. We forget him.
Where is Butler?
Well,
Where is Butler?
Ryu Butler from the
I
England
think
team.
he's considering his Butler's from his subcontinent. That's why.
I think he's considering Butler is injured at the moment, so Butler is out of the team because of the
I
injury.
think the last one day World Cup he was
James,
not.
yeah,
He has a poor World Cup.
Jamison will be in the squad. I'm not sure about Jamison at the moment because I want to see a little bit more of Jamison in the subcontinent. I'm not sure about how does he perform in subcontinent. There are many players who
No,
looks
I
pretty
think
good.
Bairstow, will they again bring him back? That's my concern. I think Crawley played in that West Indies series, but now he's injured. So, anyways, there's no point picking him. So, but will Crawley come back? I think Jamie Smith. Can they try him at the top of the order? Jamie Smith,
We have to see.
Can they,
because I think Jamie Smith has
see,
good
I think
temperament. I
by
have
the
seen
end
him in
of
the Test
the,
series. Also, he's having good
I
temperament.
think
But
by the end of the
does he
India
have the
series, they will be
ability to
having
play the new ball?
clarity.
but why they dropped Johnny Bairstow? What happened with him? There's nothing wrong in it. The whole England side failed.
I think
Butler
we have a
failed, but
comment
he's
for
still in
that.
the ODI side.
To answer
No,
Shubhadeep's
Yeah.
question.
Bairstow
One
is
more
not
thing is
good
that
No, see, my question is realistically. My question is, if you are dropping Bairstow in the same scenario, you should drop Butler because the whole England
that's
side
what I'm
failed. You
saying.
cannot just
Yeah, he had a poor form in the subcontinent. So
even the T20 World Cup, he didn't perform well. Butler, I'm talking about. So he also struggled in the slow pitches in the Caribbean. So you are actually because he's the captain, you're putting his name in the squad, and you're saying, "Oh, he's a George Butler. He will fire up in one of those days." And you're putting in and saying, just like we mentioned, Harmanpreet Kaur, she will perform in one of those days. I'm waiting for one of those days, and then you were putting him, and you were actually pointing that Johnny Bairstow failed. But if I see Johnny Bairstow's record in ODI side, 107 games, close to 4,000 runs
Yeah, I
in
mean his
ODI.
stats is impeccable. I know. I think he's only one of the 3 players who have that 40 plus average and 100 plus strike rate. Miller, AB, and Bairstow after a
So
certain number of games.
what's the issue with Bairstow? I have no understanding why they drop him for this. And that's the point. That's what I mentioned about KL Rahul, about all the players. Sometimes we make selection based on someone's form in another format. If someone is struggling in test matches, we drop him on the ODI side. Someone is struggling in the ODI side, we're dropping him on the test side. And that's what we've been doing
And
consistently.
that's why maybe we need some different coaches for different formats because that sometimes
That's the
creeps
point.
in.
Yeah, sometimes
that's a good point.
that's a good point. Sometimes that's a good point. I'm saying it by or yeah, that's the point is that why are you trying to if you're dropping Bairstow, what is the message you're sending to him? You're saying it that you are not in your ODI scheme. Now he's playing the county. He's playing the Yorkshire at the county regular basis. He's scoring runs. He scored the century against. I think he scored a century against the Foxes. Leicester, and I don't know, was it maybe Hove, one of those country grounds. So he is in touch. He's in good touch. You can drop him test side, understand with it, no issues with it. But how can you drop in the ODI side? Butler is more clutch than Bears, so any of the bowlers will fear to bowl. Okay, that's another thing. That's the point. Life motivator is saying it that Butler is the more clutch than Bears too. Only any day bowlers will fear to bowl. Which is it any day? Which is it any day? Because Butler, I mean, because he's the captain. Let me just check Butler's ODI record. There it is. Okay, there's Josh
Yeah, I think
Butler.
Butler has very good ODI stats. I think he's having some 40 average, or I think the average went down after World Cup.
Average of just little under 40, 39.5 for
And
strike.
strike rate, I think 117 or something. Yeah.
120 around. But the issue is he's batting at number six, so his only job is to throw his bat. So he's striking it anyway over 110.
Yeah,
As
also I think when he was playing under Morgan, he was playing more freely. But ever since he's become captain, he's tried to take all the responsibility on his shoulder, and I mean, that flamboyance has gone down.
Yeah.
but I'm not dropping Bears, so I don't see any reason to drop
I think
Bears.
Utkarsh has come up with the revised squad.
Okay.
Duckett, Crawley, Root, Stokes, Smith, Battle, Butler, Rashid, Archer, Stone. Okay, he's getting Josh Hull, and then Hartley.
You're not
Jack,
going with
Fox,
Topley. Topley was a good player for them.
Ropley was not a
Yeah,
good for it.
he's again come up with the
I'm
squad.
I'm really surprised that England has kept him out of the team for the first two games at Trent and then Headingley. Headingley is on the grounds, it swings much. You saw how Mitchell Stark bowled with his left arm pace for
Yeah.
Headingley.
That ball to Brook.
At
Yeah.
some point of time, Tropley was one of the bowlers who used to open your bowling department, and suddenly you drop him. And my issue is all the selection is: are you saying the right message to the players? Are you sending them the right saying that we have dropped you for this reason? That is my point. I was watching one of those, the recent interviews of Nathan Lyon that has been put on Sky, and he said Nathan Lyon was dropped from the 2013 Ashes, and he was dropped. He was surprised that because he was taking wickets, was like, "Why I'm going to drop?" Then he went to David Warner, and David Warner says, "Just ask the coach." And he went to the coach and he said, "You are not actually good against the right-handers. That is the reason why I has dropped you." That's the right message. This is the right message. That couldn't be one of those things. You have to send the right message to the individual just to make sure he is prepared for next time he comes to the field.
Yeah.
Properly, whatever.
Yeah, also, I mean, in that context, Australia dropped Cameron Green yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you see this decision?
I
Are they
think it's the
going with
best
Cameron
decision.
Green in their plan for the city, or are they going with Matt Short as the opener and continue Mitchell Marsh experiment at 3?
So
I
I
think Mitchell
think
Marsh is
I
better
think
at opening.
Stoinis is going. No, Stoinis is going to come back. So
I
No,
think he will.
Stoinis, I don't think so. Stoinis, even didn't play in the 23 World Cup end. I mean, they played
No,
Labuschagne at 5, 6,
I think
Maxwell
the
7
reason
carry.
I think the reason they drop or kind of
no, English was there,
drop him,
not
I
Kenny.
think they rested him.
Yeah, sorry,
I think
English. Okay.
I think they rested him because of he's an all rounder. He needs to have a huge role in the border Gavaskar Trophy, and this ODI he doesn't have any kind of a context. What if they lose it? Doesn't really matter. So there's no point of keeping him. And I was surprised that Steve Smith was dropped down at number 5. Rob loved the opening. He opened the winning and flicked one of the sixes against Archer in the first game. So yeah, say England's hands are bound at the moment. They cannot play Archer in all the games. That will keep on continuing till he plays maybe next summer. Maybe next summer he can make a comeback in the test side. I'm really looking forward to see him in the bowling to Virat. At Headingley, maybe one of the places where the ball swings so much in the next summer. But how they
Yeah.
manage Archer will be pretty much important. And
Also,
they have
Archer, maybe he will get an IPL contract also if he puts his name. He will have to play that IPL also. Is he
he'll
putting
be
his name? That's a question.
he can put his name, but then will be a bit of a star that he can't play back-to-back games, and that won't really make your captain happy. What is the difference between Green and Hardley? Except Green has a same name, but different. Okay, let me just drink a few drops of water. I'm just
Okay.
Green has
Also,
a better
guys.
PR
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah. Also, guys, we are 177 subscribers. I just checked. Thank you so much for your support till now, and
Yeah,
I saw
guys, please,
pretty
please
much new. Yeah.
try to make this 177 200 within the next couple of weeks before England's tour of Pakistan begins. Try to make it 200, man. A couple of weeks left.
Yeah, and also I saw a few new guys in the comments. So, guys, if you have not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing and like and share. Yeah.
And also one thing, if you guys can let us know like how you guys are coming to know about the channel. Is it word of mouth only, or are the videos coming in your feed? If you guys can
or on the
tell
basis
Yeah.
of
us about that.
recommendation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
guys,
think
can
that
you
on the
that
basis
please,
of statistics,
those
I
who are
think
watching, yeah,
yeah,
those who are watching online, if they can just write their
Yeah, did
comments
you
how
get it
they.
in the social media handles or through someone word of mouth or
yeah, who came
just
new
YouTube
actually?
recommendations?
I think from our statistics, what we saw, it was based on recommendations. I think mostly.
Yeah, I
So
think
that's a
let
good
the
sign.
audience answer. I think they can maybe shed some light on that. Yeah.
What is the topic? What is?
No, we were
What's
actually
the topic?
saying that
Please
we are
continue.
close to 180 subscribers, and we were encouraging our audience to support us more, and maybe
Oh,
we can reach 200 pretty fast. Yeah.
come on. Come on, go for at last 20. You just need 20. You can do anything, just get us 20. It's like that Richard Madley. 20. Who is gonna get a 20? Are you ready for the 20? And my hammer is coming down. Please give us 20, guys.
Yeah.
Just 20.
I think
Just
after the second India versus Bangladesh test match, we get.
see you, the audience, whoever is listening to us, you just can do one thing. Just go to your email and just open a new account and just open another couple of accounts and then subscribe on those accounts and just close it off. So that will pretty much
Yeah, I
think
think Crick Freedom is going back to Jason Roy.
Jason
Um.
Roy.
Jason,
That's correct.
England has moved on from him and they are not going back to him. Simple as that.
Let's check
I think
Jason
Roy
Roy.
is having some tough times. I think he was dropped from all the formats and he's struggling in leagues
But
also
why?
these days. I've
But
seen him.
why? I don't know because Butler was only good when Jason Roy opened with him. So sorry, Bairstow. So I
Uh,
don't see
England
Jason Roy
moved
was
on from Alex
the
Hales.
way he
Yeah, I
played
think
in
Roy
that
was the one who used to make the difference. Even in the 2019 World Cup, when Roy got injured in
exactly,
that West Indies match, they lost against Sri Lanka and against Australia. And then he
and the
came
way
back in
he
their
played
India
again in
game.
the
And
final
he was the one
semi-final,
who set the stage in their India game.
and the way he played in the semi-final against that quick
Yeah,
Australian
he
bowling
just
lineup.
he just made Australia look like a club team. He just smacked them all. And
That
even
time
the
he
decision he got, and even when he got out, I think it was an incorrect decision or something in that semi-final.
Okay, change your channel. It does not really show on the first. Ah,
yeah,
that
this
is
is
my
the
fear.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
this is
true.
the thing we have. Yeah, I also felt that
Okay,
a
when
lot
I
of
watch
channels
it,
exist with the same name.
I think that is a
yeah,
That's
good
correct.
insight from Utkarsh. Yeah, maybe we
Yeah,
can
that
work on
that
that.
is very important
need
actually.
to need to do it because I checked. I actually searched my own channel's name, our own channel's name, and
Correct.
it
Yeah,
didn't
actually,
pop
there are
up on the
lot
first
many
time.
names. Yeah, lot many names with the same name. Lot many
The
channels with the
way,
same name.
just let me tell you the way how I searched cricket Blitz Bumrah because that's the most
Yeah,
viewed.
yeah, yeah.
You
Exactly.
know,
So
I actually searched ClickBase and it doesn't pop up in the first search. So I was like, okay, maybe. And I saw one of those very small channel, very small, smaller than us, and they're actually kind of highlighting some of the old performance. And this is actually popping up at the first search. So maybe we are making changes.
Yeah,
Utkarsh.
if
Thanks so much.
someone, yeah, thanks Utkarsh, and maybe if any more of our audience can, I mean, want to give us some suggestions, we are definitely open to that. Yeah.
Oh, Utkarsh, just because you have mentioned the fact, just give us a name. Just throw us a name at it in the comment box. Think about it. Let's see what he comes up with.
We will
Okay.
have to ponder on that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But
The point is,
but coming to the
South
point,
Africa.
do you want Livingston because he is also one of the like main burden in that England's ODI team. Not at all consistent with the bat. Just because he bowls, you
Mostly
want
the
to keep
entire
him.
England team has players that will play one day, and they have 11 such players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even one
And this
day,
is that
even
one the
one day, Livingston can make the game one-sided.
and that one day comes only when they're playing against Scotland, maybe against Afghanistan, maybe Afghanistan lost. So maybe against
I think Utkarsh has coming that
Has
the
come
Roy
up with
was
a very
not the game
fancy name.
changer.
Yeah.
I think Utkarsh is commenting Roy was not the game changer, but the rule book in 2019.
Shaggy
So
boys.
no, but Roy was brilliant till the final. I think I don't know how much he scored in the final, but yeah,
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 it
I
didn't
think
do well.
he's
I think the top four failed mostly. I think it was Butler and Stokes only who made the runs.
yeah, but took them to the finals.
Even Root struggled badly. I remember he's scoring 7 of 30 or something like that. Morgan
And then
scored 9 of 20,
getting out to
9 of 20.
Grandhome, I think. Grandhome
Yeah, Grandhome
caught
bowled 10
behind.
overs for just 25 runs. That was a masterstroke from Williamson, to be honest, bowling Grandhome on that sort of a Lord's wicket, where the ball was doing so much. It was a bit of a sticky
Also,
pitch.
Utkarsh has come up with a very fancy name, Baggy
Baggy boys.
Boys.
Baggy boys. No, no, no. Yeah, we can think of that.
Baggy voice.
And
Think of it. Then firstly
I
cricket
think
and then all of the first
TM
letter.
Quasi also edits also comment that your name channel
Okay.
first cricket and then all of your first letter of name. I think
And then
there are so many people.
and
So
then what will happen if someone new joins us? We will need to change the name again. Is it the fact?
yeah. So
It keeps on changing. Every week there's a new name of the channel.
So at the
we'll
moment, it
ponder
will
on
be
it.
Also,
SSAAR.
That's so tough, man. We have to think about it. We have to come up with one of
We'll
those.
ponder it. We'll ponder on it. That's a good point. We'll ponder on it.
It's a good point, actually. We have seen it. We actually didn't actually, talked about it. Now we will put some light on the whole
also,
fact.
guys,
that-
if you are enjoying our shorts, do let us know. I mean, we have been recently putting up a lot of shorts
yeah,
on our channel.
just give feedback. Anything you need
Yeah.
to have on the shots. We're not actually.
So those who are commenting, yeah, I think TMKOC and Utkarsh. So and also others can also please let us know your feedback if you are enjoying our shorts rather. Yeah.
I
Ananya
think it's
Parash.
going to some different dimension. The discussion is going on to.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we can call it for we can wait for some for few minutes.
Yeah, I
because-
think we were asking our audience for the feedback on our shorts videos. Yeah.
and
Yeah,
how
I
they
think
got to
maybe
know about the
5-10 minutes
the-
before we can close it out.
Yeah.
and also how they got to know that is also the question we wanted to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, come on. Your feedback is really important. Yeah.
Very unique. Yeah, very unique. Utkarsh. Pretty unique name.
But that will give us some copyrights. I think some notice we will be serving.
What is the name? And then
It's a it's a Rian Pandey. Course, very good. I am loving. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks a lot.
Thank you. And also, if you're loving any
Thank
more
you so much.
topics you would like to add that we should make shorts on.
I have a good name.
Very good, but
Okay.
cover pictures are not good.
Okay.
Okay, we will work on that. Thank you.
But
Thank you so much for that.
by cover pictures, what do you mean?
I think he's talking about the thumbnail for shorts, I guess.
But I think the problem in shorts is it just gives that one clip of the video only. You're not allowed to give that
That is the
customized thumbnail.
point.
But yeah, we will work on that. I think he has pointed out a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's great to know. I mean, the feedback of our audience, what they think. Yeah. Also,
Use
we have one more
clickable
copy.
pictures.
Oh,
Clickable pictures. Okay.
So our thumbnail department is all Ritik and Saptarshi. Mostly Ritik, so they have to look on that and ponder.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but the point I mentioned that with shorts, we actually there's no option to add a thumbnail. But
Yeah,
I think
that's
you're
the
talking
point.
about
I mean, on
yeah.
videos and lives, you can add that customized thumbnail,
on
but in
videos
shorts,
and on videos and lives we are working really we are working a lot to improve the thumbnails, and I think you might have seen that. Yeah.
Short on Brad
Okay,
Kohli.
short on decline on Virat Kohli's screenplay.
We'll do it.
Okay.
We will
Sure.
discuss.
Sure.
We'll discuss on it.
We'll do it. Maybe
Yeah.
before the second test, or maybe after the Kanpur test ends.
After
we
the
have
compute
better
test, we will be
picture.
having a.
I think let this test series get over and we can make a shorts on this.
Then have a better picture. Maybe we can.
But
have
or maybe after the entire home test series, we will having a good picture.
I think that will be a bit late. Maybe that ends by
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
I think.
After the second test, let's do it. After the second
My
test.
accommodation.
Sorry, your views. Can Virat Kohli scored a big one in the compute test? Whatever.
Not really. I don't think. My gut feeling says no.
Again, we just use the word. He can. One of those days will come and he will can score a century. That is
Just
what
when maybe everything will fall in place, maybe we'll drive one, but it will not catch the edge.
I think we have 1 hour and 29 minutes of discussion tonight. And how many times we have used the phrase that one of those days come and he can score a century. That is the whole discussion of the whole night, I think. He
That's the
can.
point. One of the days, even Karun Nair scores a triple century. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the point.
Oh my
but I
god.
believe at least yeah, if he scores a 50, he can yeah, like has a good conversion rate. So I think he can
Okay,
score.
we are. I think that's the weekend. So when you are going to meet again next Friday, we will have the result of the first New Zealand and Sri Lanka series. Then a few days, couple of days of New Zealand and Sri Lanka second Test match. The first day of India and Bangladesh Test match. Maybe the series
England,
result of
Australia.
England and Australia.
Yeah, England, Australia mostly. I mean,
Maybe
next
a
two
bit of a
matches,
news
maybe the
on,
series will get decided.
Yeah,
Next
maybe.
one match only.
yeah, maybe then
Yeah.
because the next week is the last week of September. Maybe I'm not sure about it, and maybe
IPL.
retention lists are going to come for the next IPL. So
So it's going
the
to be
one
an
video that
exciting day
actually
for us.
you mentioned that we have to make on demanding players, that will become true once the introduction of the rules will come. We'll make that demanding players for each franchises. We'll make that video on it. Why I'm saying, because I'm shocked that I'm seeing stat after 2021. He got 22 times in 34 innings, average of 30 off spin. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
true.
it's pretty obvious that he has been
And
struggling against spin.
it's not about
Yeah,
2021. He has been referred to Mehdi, Moin, Graham Swan in the past, Nathan Lyon, so many off spinners. It's like put an off spinner, even it's me, if I bowl off spin, he will get out. That's kind of a reach where stage has, yeah, that's the kind of a stage where Virat has reached. I mean, I mentioned the same thing in, I think yesterday or it was it Friday. Yeah, we mentioned the same thing. You bowl
even
him
in
on the
this
off spin.
series, he got out to
Yeah,
a very straight ball. Very straight ball. It was an absolute straight delivery.
No, that was
it's
not a straight ball actually. It was it has edged, but I don't know why it didn't take the review. So
well,
No,
that
even Rohit,
I'm
that's my point.
talking about the LBW, I think. From Shakib bowled that
yeah,
Yeah,
delivery. I'm
yeah,
talking.
yeah. That's what he's saying. Okay,
Okay.
okay. Sorry.
Thing is, I'm saying is that he got the edge in the first innings in the fourth term line against the Pacers, which is a regularity with Virat, and he got out against the off spinner in a little bit of version, which is another regularity with Virat. So he got out in the very same fashion that he has been making the mistake all over the place for the last 2 3 years. So yeah, we have to make one of those videos or when the shorts against this off spin. It's not about off spin
Yeah.
actually. It's about the Pacers fourth term, fifth term line. I don't have
Also,
the
so now that I mean, since 2020, I think it was in 2022 against Sri Lanka, his average dropped below 50 for the first time since 2016. And do you guys see him retiring with an average above 50 whenever he decides to hang up his boots? 2027, 28, whenever he decides. Do you see him going
Looks
up
tough.
above 20
Looks
again,
tough.
above 50 again?
see if he scores two double centuries with unbeaten rate, the average will go up. That's pretty sure. If he scores a 250 not out next match, his average will go up to 50.65 or something else. Now it's 48 down to 48 and a half. So he needs one of those two, the big centuries at a unbeaten rate. And with Verities, when he scores a century, when he gets set, he always looks to smash the ball. He is not like someone who will put much price on his wicket. I'm not saying it's a wrong thing, but excuse me, he needs one of those unbeaten centuries to guide his. Joe Root made the century, one of those games. He remained unbeaten at Manchester, 70 runs. It was the unbeaten rate, so his average will go up anyway because 70 will can be 300. There's no difference with it, so the average will go up anyway. That's how the average has been calculated in this game. So yeah, maybe I'm not sure about 50, but
But 45 plus for sure, I think.
yeah,
I think his average was somewhere around 55 after that South Africa series in 2019. 54, 55 at that point of time when he scored that
everyone
pink ball 100 against Bangladesh.
everyone everyone's average has come down. I think Steve Smith had one point of time he has 65 odd. It has come
Yeah.
down to 57. I think Kane
I
Root's
just
Williamson
average,
think
has it gone up?
Root
should
has in
retire
the
now.
50s. Root has now in the 50s, which actually came down to 49 at one point of
But
time.
I
That's
think
one after 50.
Kohli had a
Kane
good
Williamson
2023 in Test, but
Kane Williamson had one point time had a average of around 60. It has come down to 55, which is pretty good. New Zealand plays don't even play too many test matches, and they play two test matches series mostly. So his average is around 55.
Yeah,
And
even the great Sachin Tendulkar, if we say, I think his average was something on 58 or something in 2010, but then it came down at the time of his retirement.
I mean, it's
Yeah, that's the
remarkable
case.
how, and even Callis has, I think it has 53 odd. I think Ponting has also 53 odd. Oh my God, my one of the greats is one of the greats I've ever seen in my eyes as a left-hander. The two left-handers is Sangha and Brian Lara.
I think
Sangha has an
Sangha has a
average
pretty
of,
good average.
I
Yeah.
think 54. I think it's 54.
56 or something, I think. Right?
Six, yeah, yeah, can be. And Brian Lara is a huge average. So these guys, and in if you are in the list of highest run scorers, you need to keep an eye on the average. It doesn't look good if you have a pretty bad average. Even in the bowling average, if you see, I have no issues with Ashwin making those. Ashwin has an average of around 20. But if he keeps on
23.
playing mostly 23, but he keeps playing on India on the subcontinent pitches mostly, so his average will anyway be around 25. It's remarkable how Shane Warne had an average of around 30 and a strike rate of nearly 10 overs, having played in all South Africa, England, Australia, and still
Also,
hasn't
it was a bit
struck.
strange that Shenwan, maybe his worst touring place was India, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
Yeah.
point.
because India was good players in that time.
Yeah.
Tendulkar,
That's the point.
Lakshman,
I think
Dravid.
Murli made a point. Murli made a point before his 800, his the biographical cinema. It was that. That was movie that was published. Excuse me, a couple of years ago. He said India is a tough place to bowl spin from Sri Lanka. The fact is, the speed of the delivery is varies. The one we use in Sri Lanka and the one we use in India. It has to be a little bit faster. In Sri Lanka, the pitches are a little bit drier, so it will anyway come down slow. Even if we fast it down, it's India is different. We have to speed it more, couple of 5 kilometers, a little bit more than Sri Lanka, the one we use. Then it will rip it off and it will be easy. So my average, I mean Murli's average is also huge or high in India. So it's not easy to bowl in India if you're a spinner. Lion, Graham Swan, Monty Pallister, Ravichandran Ashwin, Jadeja, they all have actually learned the art of how to bowl in India. I was actually also, going through the stats of this World Test Championship live. Ashwin is at number two with 48 wickets. Hazelwood is at number one at the moment for 51 wickets. I was watching the average of Jasprit Bumrah. Is the average of 15. Average of 15 at a strike rate of 24. So he picks up a wicket in every 5 overs and is giving 15 runs for each wicket. That's remarkable. And he was especially playing in India, mostly playing in India. I played most of the games in India. It's
That
remarkable.
speaks
And
volume.
it, I'm not comparing this Indian team's bowling lineup with the great Australian side. They have Brett Lee, they have who they have that
McGrath,
Glenn
background.
McGrath,
Glenn McGrath. Yeah.
Gillespie,
Glenn McGrath, Shane Warne, Jason Gillespie.
Brett Lee, they
Cascovis was
had
also there.
Skaskobis was also there. So
Yeah,
I'm not
Casper Wiggs.
comparing. I'm not comparing. It's hard to compare any batting
Bichel,
lineup
Andy Bichel,
that it's
Yeah.
hard to compare any team in test team with that Australian test team. But I'm not comparing
Johnson.
bowling side with those two sides. But I think India at the moment are standing at a point where they can actually think of making a comparison. That's the point. They can think of making a
Yeah,
comparison. Bumrah is.
because
I always say one thing. Bumrah is for me is a generational one kind of bowler, the best across format. I have so many fights. Saposhi knows it. With our groups, I have so many fights saying Bumrah is the best. There's so many kind of
Some of
arguments.
them might be some of them might be watching this video also.
Well, they can. Please welcome.
And they will get back to you later. So get ready for the
And
fight again tonight.
no issues with it. I always say stats. If you are watching the game, they will. Even today, Australia bowling was better than India bowling is in Indian condition. Yeah, this is the fact. Australia's bowling is better than Indian bowling, but do they have the resources? That's my point, Utkarsh. Do they have resources? They have to kind of rely on Hazelwood, Cummins, Stark, and then
Lion.
Lyon. That's it.
but the
If
same
it
thing,
is
if
Yeah, now
Australian
you
bowling
get
was
now
that good, why
you
Indian
remove one
bowling
of these guys or
outplayed
two of
them
these guys. You
and
don't
in
have
the
that
Bata
backup.
Gavaskar Trophy?
I'm not saying India will do better without Bumrah, Shami Siraj, Ashwin Jadeja, but they do have Umesh Yadav, who is not bowling, one of the big bowlers of reverse swing in Indian conditions or any other conditions. Umesh has done well in overs conditions, especially under Virat. Jaydev
Ishant
not
Sharma
correct.
has still not retired.
No, Ishant
That's
Sharma, I
also
think maybe India are not looking at him. Even if
no.
we
That's what
don't
I'm.
look at Ishant Sharma, they have got Umesh and
Yeah,
Chalo
That's what I'm
Umesh
telling.
been
If you're comparing with Australian bowling, they have only 3, but India has a lot of.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
They
the
yeah.
point. They
get
have so many
The thing
resources.
is, in the last 10 years, I don't see any other Australian bowler coming up to the level of these three. Like, okay, these
Yeah,
three are great, but I don't see
exactly.
any youngster who has the potential of becoming as good as these three. Like,
exactly.
I see no
Yeah,
one.
they have played guys for a couple of matches. Like Boland was there, he vanished after the
Michael
Ashes.
Nesser was there. Michael Nesser,
Michael
someone.
Nasser played one match
I
in that
think
Ashes 21.
Boland also
Ty
was.
Richardson picked
Yeah,
up a fifer in that Ashes at Adelaide pink ball. He's so much injury prone, and now I think they're traveling with Lance Morris every series, but he's not getting that game.
But that peak, like that, uh, three ballers, the prime, the one of the top in the world, they have
Yeah,
no
that
one
that
else
level is
in that league.
unmatched. That level is unmatched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have no one
it's
else
true.
coming. Like these three are playing for more than a decade now, and I don't see another bowler that can come and be part
exactly.
of that team.
That's what
And
I'm
it's not just
worrying.
Test cricket. These three turn up in almost every format.
Every
I
format.
mean, any World Cup, Champions Trophy, T20 World Cup, WTC final, Australia bowlers, Pat Cummins, Stark, Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazlewood, done.
It has to be the best trio I have seen. It
The,
has to be.
Yeah,
the
and
best
the
batting.
most beautiful thing is I don't know how you guys remember it, but these three, all of these three played for New South Wales and Sydney Sixers. The one of the
It is.
Champions League Sydney Sixers won.
And
Even Nathan Lyon was there, right?
Nathan
and
Lyon was there,
and
Steve
the
Smith
fact
was
is,
there,
if you see the
Garner was
Australian
there. It
side,
was so beautiful.
60% is New South Wales. Warner, Smith. There was Joe Burns at one point. Sorry,
Joe
there's
Burns is not from New
Warner.
South Wales.
No, no, sorry, Joe Burns not. He was from Gabba, so
Phil
he plays for
Hughes
Club.
was from New South Wales.
Jasprit,
Phil
Shami,
Hughes
Siraj,
was
and
from New South
Hazelwood.
Wales.
Siraj and Hazelwood packs a very interesting battle. Whoever won this battle eventually, the team is going. Exactly. That's what we are talking about.
Yeah, I think
In
both teams have a pretty good batting lineup. It all
And
comes
that's
down
what
to who.
and
the
that's what
most
my point is that Hazel all three were there in 2018. They were in 2020, but still they couldn't beat India. And
the
India,
most lethal bowling lineup in the history of the game. I'm saying the whole history. I heard of, I read of actually the one they had in 1980 of the West Indies bowling lineup in Australia. They had Andy Roberts, Michael Holding, Joel
Mark,
Garner, Malcolm Marshall, and Patrick
Malcolm
Patterson.
Marshall, Colin Kraft.
That's the five bowlers. The five bowlers. Yeah. So that's the five. Patrick was absolutely like
They were
fire.
called I think the four horsemen of death, something of
Yeah,
that sort.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's actually what. And I remember, I don't know you guys. We are actually speaking about the bowling, so we're actually it's 10:52. We'll stay there for a few couple of minutes. So I'm going to tell you the story of Patrick Patterson. I think Ian Bishop mentioned in one of the Craig Buds conversation that he was there in Savannah Park, Jamaica, and they're playing for Jamaica and Trinidad, and they're playing a game, a domestic game in the red ball in those time. And young Ian Bishop was quite young. He was sitting in the dressing room of Trinidad and he was watching a fired up Patrick Patterson was bowling. At that point of time, Patrick Patterson used to use the Adidas shoes. Okay, Adidas shoes, and they had the metal studs. And Jamaica, if you see the pitch of the Jamaica, the Savannah Park, it's a little bit platformish, so it's a bit higher than the whole ground, and it's solid with red soil. Every time Patterson was running with his metal studs of the shoe and was touching the middle of the pitch, there was fire. There was literally fire burning out of the shoes. That fast he was. And he said Patterson was fast. You don't realize how fast he was. Andy Roberts was terrific. Michael Holding was there. Malcolm Marshall is one of the best bowlers I have heard of. And then there was Joel Garner. So these were the
Yeah.
five lethal bowlers that if
If all
Australia
the
plays three batters, neither will be. But they
Yeah,
can't.
certain like if you check history of which of the teams around the world who have won their respective title the most number of times, New South Wales is probably the number one, and the second is Mumbai
Mumbai,
for
yeah.
Ranji. So, and both of these places have produced great cricketers over the years. So,
I
Yeah.
think a
Yeah.
few players are also coming from the Western Australia. Western Australia is producing also a few
Mitchell Marsh.
great players, I would say. Marsh. In the past they have Hussey, the two Hussey brothers. They had Michael Klinger. They have uh, who they have? They have Justin Langer. My favorite JL is from there, so I have to mention it. Queensland is also producing
Cameron Green is from where?
Cameron Green is from there also.
Yeah,
JL
yeah.
Australia, Perth. So yeah, these guys are there. Jason Behendorf, you see, he's one of those guys who's from that part of time. It's good if it's one of the important thing is the talent needs to be spread out all around the country, and that's good thing that Mumbai is not producing more games. See, in the past it was always Karnataka, Delhi, and Mumbai. That was the whole team. That was the final point. See, since MS introduction, the other small cities have started to
And
believe that yeah,
Hardy. Okay.
actually Hardy and Green, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
since
Hardy
MS
probably
introduction,
Earth only, right?
I think
Also,
Bengal.
also that now, I think we had discussion regarding the England ODI side. Maybe before closing out, if I would like to ask you guys, the probable ODI 11, you were expecting Australia to play at this city, considering there's no injury issues.
There is no banner on that because
Which
Stark,
city?
Hazelwood, uh,
No, the
Cummins,
bowling lineup is
Zampa.
mostly fixed. It's the top 6, 7, which I'm asking. The batting side.
First
Head
year
and March
champions.
at.
Okay, city. Okay.
I think I will play Head and March at the top. I think Smith at number 3, Labuschagne at 4.
Labuschagne 4. Green
Uh,
at 5. Green at 5. Maxwell at 6.
no. Maxwell at 5. I would not go with Green because if they want, they can go. But I feel he's
So who is your
very
number
overrated.
6? Josh Inglis or Alex Carey at number 7? Or are you playing
Yeah,
both Inglis and Carey?
I want to go with Marcus Stoinis because on his day he can like finish
But
like
I
he
guess
can.
But that on its day arrived back in 2019 last. It's not arrived for the last 5 years.
Uh,
no, but then yeah, but I understand where he's
I think
coming
he is
from.
more of more an expensive version of Liam Livingston, maybe.
but he can
Actually,
ball those 10 overs also. Like I think so
I
that
think
will be also.
Champa is doing well in the absence of Stoinis, isn't he?
Yeah.
who is doing well in the
Sorry
absence
if you
of
haven't.
Sony?
Sorry,
Zampa, Adam Zampa.
Okay, so Head and Marsh at the top. No, Marsh can open for the City. Yeah, I
March.
think they don't
Yes,
have much.
Yesterday they tried Matt Short at the top, and then I
they
think
will
they
not go
tried
with Matt
Jake
Short.
Fisher McGurk also once in that West Indies series in February.
How much ODIs have they left? They have the one ODI series at home against Pakistan,
So
and that's
Utkarsh
it.
is giving JFM Head Short. He's dropped Marsh only.
No
Marnus
Smith.
Green.
He has
No
dropped
Smith.
Sorry,
Smith also.
Connolly. He's dropped Maxwell also.
Who is
Smith also.
Connolly?
So
Smith.
that's the
Hooker
team.
Connolly.
That's the team we are talking about for the Champions Trophy, not the
We are
England.
talking about the 50 over format, not the
Yeah,
T20.
We are talking of the Champions Trophy, not this particular series. We are talking of
yeah.
what's going to be the Champions Trophy.
See, I think they
And we
have.
will bring more analysis in the future also. So once
I think
it
they have only
comes,
one ODI series left at home against Pakistan, so that's the only preparation. And most
I don't think they
That is
will
in the
be playing
okay.
full
So
squad.
that's in the Australian summer in January
yeah,
or somewhere.
and because that's just before the BGT, the fast bowlers won't play. That's the point which is going to happen. So I think what will happen that Head Marsh to open, then Smith at number 3. I'm thinking Marnus at number 4. I'm going with Mitchell Marsh at 5. Mitchell Marsh at 5. Yeah, Maxwell at 6. Alex Carey at 7. The 3 quickies,
But
and then
Mitchell Marsh at 5, I think he's better to open because he sort of gets tied down when he comes down the order, especially if he comes a bit late.
oh,
I
sorry,
remember that
sorry.
match at
No.
Dharamsala where
I
Aidan
forget.
Warner went bang bang. He came, he struggled late.
I actually mentioned Marsh twice. So I actually opening with Marsh and Head, and then
Okay.
putting Smith at number 3, 4 Marnus, 5 Maxwell, 6 Cameron Green,
Or English.
7 is Alex Carey, 8 is Cummins, 9 Stark, 10
8, 9,
Hazel.
10 anyways fixed. 8, 9, 10, 11 fixed. That trio and Zampa. So
So
you are
that's
not going with Josh Inglis, who was there in the World Cup 23.
Exactly.
no,
He played a vital knock in the semi-final along with Smith.
no, because
But
Carey
I was
played.
actually surprised why they dropped Carey in the World Cup. I mean, he had just one.
Yeah,
He played just one game on that treacherous track at Chepau, got out against Jadeja, who is one of the best on that track. But
he
he
played.
survived just one ball, and
Carey
then he
played
dropped in the second
one of
match.
those knocks at
I think English
Southampton.
was good that World Cup.
I would like to take that because Probably Josh English has a better power hitting capabilities than Alexis
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
Carey.
the
exactly.
reason why Jamie Smith was picked in that English Test squad because they are not expecting KD to play those kind of knocks down the order. But I think
But you
KD
need
is better when
someone
he
who
comes up the
can,
order.
yeah, but he
Yeah, yeah.
needs someone who
Carey is
can
that.
balance the side.
So he's asking Smith to drop Marsh, Nepo product. Stoinis will destroy. Maxi also no form.
No, I think Cameron Green, Marsh, Zampa, and then three quickies. So you have seven bowling options. So if there's someone injured or someone going for so
How
many runs,
can
it happens. It happens. It can happen. So you can actually have
Spanish
it,
at
and you can
Zampa?
have batting till number eight because Cummins can also bat. So you can have batting at till
No,
number
Maxi
eight, and
will come in form against Afghanistan. So yeah,
yeah, that's the point. I'm thinking that you have to have better average. And I also some of the points I'm going to ask you guys that there are
is
reports
Warner
that
still available to play? That's also a
No, no,
question.
no. I'm not seeing
I
him
think
in the
he's
English league.
available, but they are
Yeah,
not considering him. That's the point. Because if we were out and if we are playing in one of those max 60 tournament in the Caribbean, then I'm surely he's taking his mind off international career. But the point I'm mentioning is that there are a few reports that Hardik is actually preparing himself for the red ball format.
yeah.
That's a good point. Actually, we
How do
need
you
him in the.
see that?
But that will India take the risk of straight away taking him to the
My
BGT with the
point.
city just a couple of months away?
That is that's my point. Why is Hardik more important? Is
I
it
mean,
the
you can
BGT
still win
or
a
is it
test
the
series
city?
without Hardik, but if Hardik gets injured before the city, there's no chance of winning it. Hardik is
Yeah,
that pivotal character.
exactly.
Yeah,
In terms of
that's my
both batting
point.
and
You
bowling.
cannot have Hardik and yeah. It, I mean, he can bowl. He can bowl 15 overs and then just injured and gets ruled out for the next 3 months or 4 months. You are actually putting more kind of a. You're actually putting the balance of the ODI set under risks. So that will be more
Because
issues.
as we mentioned, just like Stokes, if Hardik doesn't bowl, he's not coming into my team. So
Conway a good finisher, bowling options in my teams to it batting till it. But you are actually going to ICC tournament, and as far as I know, Australia they put more focus and attention towards the experienced players in the ICC tournament.
yes,
And I'm not sure about to it Conway.
Yeah,
Con
definitely. They always value experience. If not, they would have taken Jake Fisher McGurk by dropping one run in the T20 World Cup. But despite Jake Fisher McGurk catching eyeballs in the IPL, they didn't pick him in the squad. So they
is the
always value
Champions Trophy?
experience.
Is the Champions Trophy schedule? Is it announced? Like what is the schedule?
No, no. And the venue itself is still not fixed, right?
see the see the draft should has been announced. The draft is has been announced where
Yeah,
India has been given the Lahore venue for the whole tournament because just to
yeah.
avoid
Yeah.
most of the travels. So, draft has been announced that India Pakistan is facing each other at Lahore Gaddafi Stadium on March 1. That is our draft schedule. But the way Pakistan is losing the international media rights for the England series, bilateral series,
It's
you
tough
can
for them.
you can suspect that it's not happening.
Is
Yeah,
India traveling
I think
to Pakistan?
you can be prepared yourself. Yeah, that's the point. The BCC, I don't think the
I
political
don't think
parties
India
in a
is going to
condition.
allow to travel to Pakistan. I don't see that happening. That the Indian team is traveling to Pakistan.
Yeah. So I think maybe one last comment from Utkarsh before we
Yeah,
pull the curtains tonight.
See, I
Give me
will
one good
go
reason to play Marsh.
because
I
he was
think
part of the teams that has won big tournaments first and foremost, and there is this thing that and he has done big well in bits and pieces, and that is one of the reasons
Also,
why.
Ashish has good experience with Marsh. He plays for his IPL team also.
So he has like dissect him better than
I
us.
think I want to ask Utkarsh, but does he want to play Team David there in Australian team,
Yeah, Utkarsh is a huge fan of Team David. We have to,
Okay, he gave him some famous name.
which we cannot tell now in live?
I mean, I
Which is
think
the
I just want to mention Utkarsh, which I think he is he from Punjab or what is this? He's RCB, is he?
Yeah,
Who?
RCB. Yeah.
who
Utkarsh,
who
does he support RCB?
who?
Yeah, I think.
whichever team Utkarsh suppose, I think they will gonna hire
Okay, so
camera.
now that Marsh's contest comes up, does Ashish want Marsh again to come back to DC or enough of Marsh?
No, no. See,
He's tired.
even the day, even the day I knew one thing. So first and foremost is he comes with that handle with care tag. Okay. The second thing is I somehow feel he doesn't put in the effort when he plays for the IPL franchise. Like the effort from his side is missing. I just feel that he just
Hmm.
walks out, he gets out, he just walks back.
But
That
jokes aside, on his day, Marsh is very lethal and he
yeah,
can make
yeah,
take
but
the.
it's still
Yeah, again
possible.
on his day. I mean,
But
we have
No, no,
discussed
he
a
no.
comes
lot
in that
The
about a lot of
the
on
2021
his
World
day
Cup.
players tonight,
Yeah,
from Marcus
the
Stoinis
way
to
he
Liam
played in that.
Livingstone to Mitchell
see,
Marsh. A lot
in
of on
IPL,
his
when
day
you're
players.
picking up a foreign player now, you cannot bank upon that one thing because only four players can play. So those
Yeah.
four has to bring a lot of impact. If you are one of those guys, yeah, I know that one good innings he will play in those 14 matches, 1 to 2 good innings he will play, but you are one of the prime investments. You cannot give such results, right?
Hmm. See, I
So
think you for
that
your franchise, it's quite at a kind of a decided that JFM stuff and those three Indians, one Kuldeep and Akshay. And I also saw a report on CSK's retention that they said MS, Rutu, Jadeja, Dubey, and Pathirana. Those are the fives that's going to be retained. So maybe the rules have been announced, or
Also
maybe
Rishabh. Also Rishabh's one. I think DC confirmed that the all those rumors of Rishabh going away.
I think the way Per Jindal actually congratulated Rishabh after the century, it was almost kind of a confirm at that point of time. He said Rishabh is
yeah.
there for stay in Delhi, and he wrote that line, and it was almost given that it's going to happen. So yeah, maybe whatever.
Okay, I
Yeah,
think we
so I
can
think
give it a shot today.
Okay, that's I think 11:05. We are done with
Sorry.
it. Almost
yeah,
two
so I
hours.
think enough of that. So maybe okay,
Dubai is
so
why. Why does come from?
he's just come right after the school gates are almost getting closed.
Yeah,
I think Dubai is a bit early for the next session.
yeah, I think so. We're coming back next Friday. I think yeah, next Friday.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, I think next Friday,
maybe in
unless
weekdays,
maybe
but
something
yeah,
special
unless
match happens,
something
and maybe
special
we
happens.
all get a bit of time, maybe in the weekdays. But
Yeah,
mostly the shorts will keep coming, the reviews, the stories, and those on this day birthday specials. Also, a couple of birthdays coming up next week, like Johnny Bairstow, Brendan McCullum.
Yeah.
Me and Ritik are looking into it. Shubhadeep will keep on with the reviews. The England Australia reviews will also come up.
yeah, one birthday.
Also, maybe a couple of shorts before the England Pakistan series.
Exactly.
I actually missed yesterday's birthday. We had a birthday of the great, one of those great, legendary West Indies fast bowler. Courtly Ambrose's birthday was yesterday. I know we missed it, but we
Yeah,
will
I
make a
think
Yeah.
story. I am actually thinking of making a story on that
it was
Ambrose
in the
and Dean
plans
Jones.
actually, but somehow it was not
Yeah,
executed.
actually, maybe we
So
didn't have. I mean, we made those other, and we didn't have the time.
yeah,
Maybe no one
yeah.
had that sort of time. But
Yeah.
okay, we will
No,
definitely
But
try to make
from
some
the
stories
next
on
we
that.
year, from next year coming onwards, it will be not missed. That we can
And also,
guarantee
I
that.
mean, at the moment, we are
will.
just growing our team so that we can maybe distribute the work more, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
come up with more content.
Yeah,
South Africa protect themselves
Yes, they
from
protected
international
themselves
crowd.
from being whitewashed by Afghanistan. Yeah,
I think Afghanistan did the right thing by decided to play the younger players. It's more important to
exactly. I
give
think
those
they didn't play with
younger
Rashid
players.
Khan and all those players, so that's why I think he lost.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's it. Good night,
Thank
and
you
get
guys.
ready for the Monday Blues.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
night.
for me here, still
Bye bye.
yeah.
Yeah, so you
Cheers.
get ready with the Ambrose.
Breakfast.
But it's
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Audience
23rd, there, right?
requesting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, so bye bye to everyone.
Thank you, guys.